I'm back and better than ever. I got a knack for making things better. What's going on, y'all? Good to see you again on a long overdue WWE Raw live watch along reaction. This is something that I did about every Monday straight for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half or so, and I just kind of started cutting back on them a little bit at the end of last year, but I wanted to bring them back for WrestleMania season. We will see how it goes. If these get a good response and you guys like it, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do this again, then we'll keep it going. We'll reevaluate everything in April after WrestleMania, and I'll either go back to the reviews or we'll continue doing the live reactions, or we might do a mixture of both. So it is good to see everybody in here. We are live, correct? Can you guys see me? Yeah, you can. Cool. All right, last reaction I did was for the Royal Rumble. We were up here live for that. Now, right after that, WWE pulled it down. I didn't show any of the video footage, but I did have the volume on kind of loud, and I think it got like copyright match. So with Raw tonight, I'm going to be careful. Not going to have the volume quite as loud, but I still want to be able to hear it and be able to react to it, and I didn't really want to bother with the headphones. That's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to have it a little bit lower, so you might not be able to hear it much on your end, but we got to be careful if we're going to do this and do everything right and do everything by the book. So I'm going to use this chat. I'm also got a different setup. When I live react, I got to kind of switch some monitors around. So I'm going to look at the chat here. Good to see you, Stone Cold Sam, Bradley, Kobe, Toxic Diehard, K-Dogs Kennel, Barry MK. Good to see you. Anti-Twister, Trey, Ben, Splash, King Supreme, Reese Jones. Good to see you, man. Austin, you too. Drew and Bruce and Nick and Jet. Down Ice and MJ, holy shit. Okay, awesome. We'll see how we do. Been a good couple of weeks on the channel. Numbers have been good, and feedback's been good, so we'll see what we do this afternoon. For me, anyway. It's only 5 p.m. All right, Raw's starting. Tell you what, man, we got some WrestleMania caliber matches tonight. Aleister Black and AJ Styles, and Shayna Baszler and Asuka. Both of those could have been on the WrestleMania card, you know? Or on a WrestleMania card, maybe not this year. So that's pretty good right there, even though, and it's good because, you know, neither guy's going to have to take a loss there. Probably have The Undertaker come back or something tonight. But otherwise, the match on paper is scrumptious. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. Oh, Ryan, I'm an asshole. Didn't see it. I was going to watch the R-Truth special. I planned to just the other night, and I never got around to it. So that is on my list. I will watch it extremely soon. Because everybody's been like, oh my God, you got to check it out. And that was my plan. I can't remember why I didn't. There was a reason why I didn't. Where? Oh, they're in Brooklyn tonight. Brock on the show too, I think, right? Like I said, on paper, this Raw doesn't look, you know, too horrible. Oh, wait a minute. Shut up, Greg. There we go. Just trying to get myself recombobulated over here. There we go. So that is a tag team title match. I didn't even know that. Jesus, yeah, this Raw's even looking better. I knew that match was happening. I don't think I realized it was a title match, though. This could be the night for the Street Profits. Aleister and AJ. Oh, man. I thought Aleister Black could have gotten the match with The Undertaker. What happened here? What happened to Asuka? Ah, fuck. Well, damn. Guess my thumbnail looks pretty stupid now, doesn't it? Oh, Brock's opening up the show. I thought it was Asuka and Shayna Baszler. When the hell did that news break that she was injured? He's kicking it off. All right, we'll see what Brock has to say. I'll be doing a lot more talking in a minute. I'm just trying to update something here. Good to see you, Bo. Volume's a little bit low. If you're talking about the show, I'm doing that on purpose. Because I don't want anything. And as far as the mic volume, it was low in my last couple of podcasts, but I did increase it last time. We should be all right. But if I need to bring it up, yeah, according to my levels here, it looks fine. But yeah, you're not going to be able to hear the show very well because I want to be careful with it. Well, I'm hoping we get McIntyre here.
You know what? I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's our job. Literally.
By the way, I am drinking my trusty Stella tonight.
And hype you on WrestleMania. And although I'll give credit where credit is due, almost top to bottom, this is the most stacked WrestleMania lineup.
Bullshit, Paul Heyman. This WrestleMania got a lot less interesting to me after Super Showdown. I was into it at first. Did he say a sham? Man, do you guys think... I'm really hoping the plans aren't changing for McIntyre. Seemed like it was all going to be all about him, and now all of a sudden I'm like a bit nervous. Easy, Heyman. He is not. He's awesome. You prick. I appreciate your patience, y'all. I'm just updating my thumbnail because Asuka's not in the match anymore. So sad.
Against 15 of the top stars in WWE, Brock Lesnar massacred 15 consecutive top stars in
Live reaction. Spell it right.
Ricochet, which left Brock Lesnar vulnerable to Drew McIntyre, Claymore kicking Brock Lesnar flush in the face, knocking Brock Lesnar over the top rope, eliminating Brock Lesnar from the Royal
So,
Rumble match.
Heyman, basically what you're saying is Brock Lesnar was eliminated. We know that. I'm not a Pavlovian dog, Heyman. Well, that's what it sounds like you're doing, Heyman. Sounds like you're making excuses. We need to see Drew come out here and confront him.
Lays his eyes and his hands on Drew McIntyre.
There we go.
McIntyre is nothing more than a stupid big bitch that's going
Oh, Heyman. Heyman, I'll boo you if I want, asshole. There we go. Here comes Drew. Heyman gonna tell me not to boo him. You out of your mind? There we go. That was gonna drive me crazy if I didn't change that thumbnail. Now I can talk to you guys again. Yeah, I'm hoping Drew wins too. I mean, I was kind of all about it, but I mean, we've seen Brock retain the title at WrestleMania before. I mean, we all had Roman pegged at what, 34, right? Hell, at 31 too. I'll tell you what, I do like this a lot better though than Goldberg and Roman, even though I'm a tiny bit worried about it. Drew's fearless. Look at how big he is. I mean, he's bigger than Brock. Not the same guy he was in 09, my God. Look at Brock backing off, you little bitch. Oh! Claymore to the face. Nice. I mean, I really hope he does, man. I just want to have a, you know, is it really much to ask as a wrestling fan to have a world champion on Raw, like there every week? Look at Heyman. Holy shit. Well, at some point, Brock's going to have to get one on Drew. Next time Brock's on TV, he'll be the one to beat Drew down. And then after that, they'll probably do the contract signing. Look at Brock try to pull a fast one. Yeah, Brock's selling. He's stumbling. You deserve it, Chan. I love it. Pretty badass audience right in here right now. I'll take that. Good to see everybody. Good to be back for these Monday Night Raw live reactions. You deserve it, Chanhar. Brock's seething. So yeah, next time he's on TV, he'll beat Drew down. I need to get it a little. I need it to be a little messier, though. I mean, this is. I mean, maybe they're starting slow here, just one little promo and then a Claymore or whatever. I want Brock to, like, brutally beat down. Like, not do what Orton did to Edge, but, you know, beat him down, put him through a table, smash him in the face with a chair, bust him open, you know? And then the announcers can be like, how is Drew gonna stop the Beast at WrestleMania? Like, have the show go off the air like that, with Brock rubbing Drew's blood across his body, just making it all that much more awesome when McIntyre puts him down. Well, fans, don't be counting them chickens. Don't be so quick to assume that Brock's losing this. Those fans in Brooklyn gonna jinx us. WWE's Vince is probably like, oh yeah, motherfuckers? Watch what happens when Brock goes over. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns both walking out of Mania as champion. Oh yeah, I'm sure the fans will love that. Love it. Thanks, Angie. It's glad to be back. We'll see how these go. Man, Brock is really selling the disbelief there that he got beat down. It's not like it's that rare of an occurrence anymore. He's been there a few years. He's been back 8 years now. He's had his fair share of beat downs. Here he comes back again. I love it. Yes! That is what I'm talking about. I felt like that was a little weak. I was like, come on. I was like, it was good and everything, but I feel like we need more. There we go. Drew is not fucking around. This is what we need Brock challengers to have. And some of them have had that. Strowman had that. Joe had that. And Brock put them both down. But Drew is not afraid at all of Lesnar. I like it. He's sending a message. This is what Drew needs to do to keep the fans not turning on him. Hit him one more time. Hell yeah. Nice. I like this. Is Brock going to catch him or is he going to hit the third? Come on, hit him. Yeah. Down goes Brock. 3 claymores. Hit him once in the ring. Brock sells it, stumbles back. Drew comes back out, hits him with 2 on the stage. That's how you keep Drew over, man. I'd much prefer this Drew than just being in the ring, cutting a stupid promo with a bunch of dumb lines that were written for him, and that's where you get things like tater tots and suffer and succotash and shit like that. They can completely kill a character. Keep him the badass that's somebody that's not afraid just to take it right to the beast. Say, I'll put you down, bitch. I like that. It's my favorite Drew. And the point. I don't even mind the sign pointing in this case. It's basically like, remember what just happened to you just then? 3 claymores? That banner up there, it's in the ceiling. When you go to that, it's going to happen again. Ouch, Brock. Well, yeah, Brock's gonna get some revenge. You know that in the next couple of weeks on Raw. Not sure if he's going to be booked next week or not, or if he'll take a week off. Brock should be on the show every week until Mania, if it was up to me. Super chats rolling in. Thanks, Addicted Chip. Appreciate it. Thanks for the $2. Why are they burying Lesnar like that? I know, totally buried. He should just quit WWE and go to AEW. God. He's not even used properly. Nathan Hansen, also, thanks for $2, man. I have a feeling this won't be the main event. It better be, man. But, I mean, it's not like it would be weird. It's happened before you. I think the most recent was... They did it the last couple of years, right? Didn't Nakamura win the Rumble and he wasn't the main event? Didn't Orton win the Rumble? I don't think he was the main event. So when Drew won this one, they were making it sound like he would be. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, it's almost like equal drawing power. I mean, is Goldberg really a bigger name than Brock? You know, Roman maybe arguably is over Drew, but Drew and Brock should be the main event. Listen to me advocating for Brock over Lesnar or over Goldberg easily. Goldberg's never there. I don't want him to fucking main event WrestleMania. He's lost like 2 out of his last 3 matches. Or before he fought The Fiend anyway. And he lose to Taker and then lost to Brock at WrestleMania. Why the hell does he deserve to be in the main event? Fuck that. But you might be right. And I hope you're not, Nathan. Steven Scott, thanks for the $5. Appreciate it. What are some of your favorite Coliseum video matches? That's a good one. I'm actually going to be doing a Coliseum video collection video for Coliseum video collection video for YouTube, showing off all the videos I have. And I do have a lot of favorites because there was a lot that was released in like the 90s and 80s and stuff. I don't know. That one's good because it's Brett and Savage teaming up against Flair and Michaels, and I think that was when Brett and Savage were champions. It was like Brett was IC, Savage was world champion, and they looked awesome together with the belts. I remember the promos. That was awesome. That'd probably be up there. I mean, the Brett and Flair match when he won the title was a Coliseum video match. The very first ever ladder match in WWE was on Coliseum video. The Hart Foundation, the Steiners, I think were a Coliseum video match, which is super rare. Hearts and Legion of Doom, I think, also worked like one time. Trying to think of what else. I can think of some more. Nathan Hansen, what's up again? Thanks for 2 more bucks. How would you book Killer Cross and on what brand? I'd start him in NXT. I mean, I think, there's a lot of rumors to his contract. Oh, he's been offered a spot and he's going to be moved right up to the main roster right off the bat. I don't know. I don't know if he's even necessarily ready for that. I think NXT would be the better brand and not fuck him up. So just for the benefit of his career, there's no rush getting him to Raw or SmackDown. If he is a killer in NXT and mows through some guys, you know, coming up to the main roster, maybe he can be bigger. But Aleister Black did that, and what happened to him? So, but I'd probably keep him in NXT if it was up to me. I would say the Brett versus Sean ladder match on the Coliseum video was cool, but it wasn't like a good match. They were, if you watch that match, they were really walking through it. They were really going through the motions. It wasn't a very good match. It was just unique because it was like the first ever and it was historic. And at that time, that was when Brett, I think, was still Intercontinental Champion and Sean was challenging for it. So the situation and everything was super interesting, but the match itself, I don't think was that good. That's why I probably wouldn't put it up there with my favorite. Hell yeah, or I'm sorry, who said that? Raymond. I thoroughly enjoyed that McIntyre and Brock segment. That was awesome. JTG, you're still suffering from that tag team match at Revolution hangover? That was an awesome one. Still not sure quite where it ranks in terms of all time, but it's up there, man. Hey, Michael, what's up? Awesome Patreon supporter there, coming in with a $2 super chat. Owen's best tag team partner. Yours would be the Bulldog. Oh, for sure. Owen and the Bulldog were legendary. I mean, Owen really wasn't known for a tag team guy, even though he had multiple tag team partners. He was with Anvil. He was with Coco. He was with Jarrett. And Jarrett and him had gold, but Owen and Bulldog were 100 times more entertaining. I mean, Owen and Jarrett's alliance was kind of near the end there. Owen died just a couple months later. So yeah, Bulldog by 100 miles, not even close. Run away. Any confirmation on him, by the way, on the Hall of Fame yet? All right, we got another tag team title match. Now, I predicted them to lose at Super Showdown, only because I just didn't see him winning it there. Plus, you know, maybe keep some gold on Buddy Murphy for as long as possible. Can't hurt, but at the same time, they can't be champs forever, and Seth needs to be moving into his apparent WrestleMania match with Kevin Owens. And I mentioned on Saturday night after Revolution that that could be a way to lead to it if Owens comes out and costs Seth and Murphy the tag team titles. Gets the belts off of them and puts them back in the tag team division, and then, you know, Seth and Owens can be on to do their one-on-one match because Samoa Joe is now suspended. So that might leave Murphy just sitting there with nobody to work with, you know, if AOP continues things with the War Raiders or something. So, I don't know.
This is not WrestleMania yet. We got a long road to go to WrestleMania, true. Yeah, but that was a good warning shot.
Yeah, Paulie, the live reaction is back. We're going to see how it goes. By the way, while you're here, smash that thumbs up button for me. I'd appreciate it.
This is their final opportunity at the Raw Tag Team Championship. Thank goodness. The final opportunity that puts a lot of pressure.
Make sure I keep that volume low. Yeah, that's right. It is funny how fast that comes. Elimination Chamber is this Sunday. I will be here discussing that after the show. Won't be a live reaction, but I'll be up here for a review immediately following Elimination Chamber. We'll be up here on Saturday for the Winged Eagle. Putting together a couple of WrestleMania special episodes. Got one dropping on the 15th of March that I originally thought was going to be a live stream, but I think it's just going to be a regular video. If that changes, I'll let you know. But either way, it's going to be on the 15th. And then I think I've got maybe like 2 more. And that's probably all I'm going to do this year. And then we'll have a rockin' WrestleMania weekend. Murph the Smurf. Are they trying to say, like, if they don't win here, they're not going to challenge again or something? Monday Night Mariah. Thanks, Stone Cold, for the $2 laugh seeing the Warrior comic during the magazine vid. Yeah, that was in there. That was included in one of their magazines during that time. They were like giving those away. I didn't buy that or anything. I bought something else and it came in it. I remember it was like in a plastic sleeve, and there was like that. Maybe it was inside the magazine. I forgot. I think during whatever month that was going on, probably early spring '96, that somehow came into my collection. I don't even think I've looked at it, but I still have it. All right, here comes the Monday Night Mariah. Jordan Smith, good to see you, man. Thank you for $5 as well. Worst booking decision of Goldberg's career, ending the streak at Starrcade to Kevin Nash, heel turn in 2000, or Super Showdown. Well, worst booking decision for Goldberg definitely was not Super Showdown. He's champion, and he's getting a WrestleMania title match that's going to earn him a couple of $1 million payday. So that is definitely not the worst of his, from his perspective. But the heel turn or ending the streak to Kevin Nash, I would have been all right with the streak ending. I just think it caused problems when Nash was kind of the booker. Had he not been, well, he probably still would have gotten a bunch of shit for it, because then people would be claiming politics and stuff. But, you know, for Nash to book himself to be the one to do that, I think rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And some people weren't ready for Goldberg's streak to end, wanted to continue. And I agree. I think it needed to end. It couldn't have gone on forever. But I could have gone like 3 more months out of that if they wanted to stretch it. I would have been fine. The heel turn in 2000 though was dumb, but WCW was dead by that point. So I'm probably gonna say the Starrcade match. All right, here we go. Match is about to kick off. Barry MK, also thanks for $2. Got anything planned for April 1st yet? Actually, probably 2 videos. I have one this day in history planned, and of course, I'll probably do my usual April Fool's video too. So you'll probably get 2 on April 1st. I love that Murphy's wearing a shirt that says Murphy on it, just to remind us. He looks like Murphy, where he looks like he's wearing half wetsuit, half Max Moon. Thank you, Zane, for the $1. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to commercial. Commercial. You read comics and it's notoriously bad. See, I don't know anything about comics, so I wouldn't know like how his like shapes up. It looked dumb. I think that was like part of his contract back then. They agreed to help distribute this comic book for him. And I remember they were really like pushing it when I went. It was interesting. It was like they were trying to get rid of a bunch of shit. When I went to that show, I've told the story a million times. I went to a show in the summer of '96 in Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, and ended up getting backstage. And they took me back there, and I just met everybody and spent a good amount of time back there. And after I did a bunch of meet and greets and all this shit, they gave me a bunch of crap. And one of them was like an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, which I never wore. And there's some other nice stuff in there, but there was something else Ultimate Warrior related. And that was the very same show that he no-showed. So it's like they knew he was out of the company. They brought Sid in to replace him, and nobody knew. And that was the string of shows that caused Gorilla Monsoon to go on TV and say Ultimate Warrior no-showed a bunch of live events, so he's gone. But he had already filmed a bunch of pre-taped matches, so he was still going to be on TV, even though he was out the door. And we never saw him again until he went to the Hall of Fame. So I remember that night. Crazy. Ramon Coffee, good to see you, man. Thank you for the $2. Do you ever play those WWF arcade games? Yeah, all the Nintendo games I have, yeah. I even have a nice trusty right here, a nice Retron 5 that plays all the consoles, kind of like an emulation machine, and it converts them to HDMI, which is really handy to kind of like quickly play an NES game. It's got all the ports for all the different controllers, so I find myself just using that because it's much easier than trying to mess with the original console. But yeah, every now and then I'll pop in some Nintendo games and get my play on. Oh yeah, the April Fool's Undertaker video was my favorite. Last year, my video was way too long. I need to do like a 5-minute one this year, and I'll do one. And the Undertaker video was just so fun because I love just reading the comments. I love watching everybody who thinks I'm serious. It's so much fun. Now I see why websites like The Onion and shit like that have such a good time. And kayfabe news. It's probably half the entertainment is just going through watching people fall for it. And everybody did. Like, what's this guy's problem? He's the dumbest motherfucker ever. Goldberg doesn't deserve, or I'm sorry, Undertaker doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Unsubscribing. See ya. If you don't understand sarcasm, I don't want you as a sub anyway. Oh, that's a good one, Toxic. By then, I don't know. It might be... No, maybe people are probably still going to be pissed. Yeah, I haven't even really come up with the idea. I wrote down like 2 or 3 ideas like 6 months ago somewhere. They're in my notes on my phone. I'll go back and look at them and see if they sound any good now. I'll come up with something. All right, we're back from commercial. And we got Murph and Seth in control. I don't know, just the placement of this match too on Raw. I'm not really feeling a title change, but I kind of hope one happens here. Oh my God, Ramon Coffey. Dude, for real. This is it. This fucker right here. Look at Hogan. He looks like a drunk, pot-bellied hippie. This game was trash. Absolute trash. Very first game on Nintendo, WrestleMania. Had like 6 players. You could be Hogan. I think maybe Savage, DiBiase, Honky, Bam Bam, and Andre. I think were like the ones. And oh my God. You could only punch or kick. I think there were signature moves, but they were impossible to pull off. Each wrestler had a different button combination just to go for a pin. So it's like not like every like a kick or a suplex move wasn't the same for every wrestler. They were all different. It was bad. It was so bad. They did play some 8-bit renditions of the Pile Driver album songs though, like Girls in Cars and some other shit, Honky Tonk Man and a bunch of other songs. That was probably the funnest part of the game, but otherwise it was not fun to play. And 12-year-old me did not enjoy that game at all. You think Becky and Seth are leaving after Mania? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're going on a vacation, sure. Leaving the company? Hell no. Never. Whatever website reported they're leaving the company is on crack, and you need to unsubscribe from them. Yeah, Austin, that would be a good one, but I need something that's going to get more heat. You know, I need to like just do a video praising Charlotte and Roman Reigns or something. Yes, Ryan, I have caught up with the Ruthless Aggression series. I saw the first 3. I think there is a Brock one out now that I haven't seen. So if I'm behind, I think I'm just 1 behind. But yeah, binge watched all 3 episodes last Wednesday, and they were all good. I think I really enjoyed the Evolution one a lot. That was good stuff. Okay, that's what you meant, vacation? Oh yeah, then that's fine. Of course, they can go on vacation. I'm down with that. It won't be long. It's not like WWE's going to let them take a month off or anything. They'll be gone a couple weeks. They'll be back. All right, so this is the final opportunity at the titles, according to... Oh, we got AOP out there too? Jesus. This needs to break down. Viking Raiders need to run out there and take out the AOP. And then in the confusion, Kevin Owens hits the ring, nails Seth with a Stone Cold Stunner, and Street Profits get back in there and pin him or something like that. That's what we need to see. Let's do that, WWE. Might as well make this a good Raw. Oh, they got tossed out. All right, well, that's not going to happen then. Yeah, I know. I remember the themes would play like randomly and shit, and during the games, and yeah, it was like DiBiase's theme song was Girls and Cars. There he is. There's a stunner. All right, go hit him with that sweet-ass frog splash, Montez. He's... Oh, my goodness. That's it. Go. You guys got it. Well, I almost predicted that spot on. If he actually hits this here and wins. Frog splash. That's it. Nice. I'll take that. See, I'm glad they did it on Raw, not Super Showdown. Nice. Congrats, boys. I'm actually all right with this. Please tell me, God, that they pass those cups out and they don't sell them. Well, actually, no, they definitely don't sell them. Nobody would buy that shit. Does every chair have a Solo cup on it? I've never drank anything non-alcoholic out of a Solo cup in my life. I've only had alcohol in it. Well, there we go. That's going to be Owens and Seth now for WrestleMania. Which is fine. Curious if they'll add anything to it. Any sort of stipulation at all. Rumors of WrestleMania possibly being canceled to coronavirus. I think I'm worried about maybe future things. I don't think the outbreak will be to the point where we're canceling events here in the U.S. in a month. But, and we've seen some outbreaks like this before. I'm kind of just ignoring this one and hoping it just goes away, I guess. I'm almost like willing it to not be in the news anymore. It's slightly worrisome, but I don't think I don't think it would put the entire world to a halt in as little as 3.5 weeks from now. I think it'll be longer now. A year from now or something, if the entire world is infected with this virus, you know, there might not be anything going on. But I think we'll be all right, at least for WrestleMania, before shit hits the fan. Yeah, I was just thinking, though, I was like, man, if WWE's trying to make money off just selling red fucking cups at $1 a piece to these fools... Thanks, Ramon Coffee, for another $2. I don't have a ton of games. I have about, I don't know, 30. I've got all the usual suspects. I love the Mario games. I've got like 1, 2, and 3. I got the Double Dragons. I've got all the wrestling games. I've got other ones like Paperboy, Burger Time, Contra, Ice Hockey, Skate or Die, Tetris, a bunch of baseball games, Double Dribble, Goonies, Excite Bike, Gunsmoke, 1942, 43, Rampage. I can't read some of those other ones. I can't even read that. The glare is on the labels, and I can't read the other ones, but I got a bunch. I'm not so much of a collector as more of just, I like nostalgic stuff that like I had as a kid. So basically, I kind of rebought all the games that I had, and never really branched out and played anymore, even though there's a ton of like awesome games that I know I'm probably missing out on. I'm more into like the novelty of, you know, having what I used to have. I've always been that way. So a lot of that stuff is just stuff I used to have as a kid that got rid of, or, you know, I sold, or it just went away when I went off to school or something. And I wanted it back. Favorite Rock match? I like the one he had with Benoit at Fully Loaded. I like the Iron Man match with Triple H. I liked his match with Brock. All his matches with Austin were good. Yeah, I was already done collecting video games by the time Mario Kart came out. And Nintendo 64 was already past my video game playing days. That's how old I am. So everything beyond a Super Nintendo, never played. Never had PlayStation or any of that shit. Or Xbox, and I'm completely oblivious to that universe. I know nothing about it. And yeah, so I know Mario Kart was a great game, but I have no clue how to play it. Actually, I think Mario Kart might have been on Super Nintendo, but I didn't play it on there either. And then, yeah, by the time the 64 shit came out, I was done. Never had a GameCube, none of that stuff. Thanks, Stone Cold and Oak Warrior. Comic is notorious for how it sucks. Well, I'll pull it out and look at it. I'll read through it and see how stupid it is.
With Metro by T-Mobile, you rule. Get one line of unlimited, just $40 when you switch. That's the best unlimited plan in wireless. And right now, get a free Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, I could build a gaming PC too. I don't know how to do that though. I can barely keep track of this YouTube shit. Sometimes I can't even stream properly. We got technical difficulties and everything in here. Yeah, a lot of people, I should do a Mania. I should do maybe a watch along of that match. That was I think that was actually one of the ideas I have, is do Hogan and Rock from WrestleMania 18, like do a watch along, just quick video of that match for WrestleMania season. Maybe I'll do that one too, because that was so interesting. Look at Seth all mad. I challenge Kevin Owens right now at WrestleMania. $100 he says that. Oh yeah, there you go, Dustin, good one. That's definitely on the list too. Rock Triple H ladder match. Loved that ladder match. How do you think he feels, Charlie? Chuck on the spot.
I said that anyone who stands in our way will be eradicated. Most WWE superstars, they gotta ask. But I am not most WWE superstars. I am the Monday Night Messiah. I don't ask.
God, do you notice how he goes cross-eyed when he gets mad?
And myself are taking on the Street Profits. We're taking down the Street Profits, and we're taking back our Raw Tag Team titles.
Okay, when's that gonna happen, Seth?
And as for Kevin Owens, Kevin can name the time, he can name the place, he can name the stipulation.
Shit, don't do it at Elimination Chamber.
And Kevin Owens, he will be crucified.
Well, Seth says you should name the time and place, and we all know WrestleMania is going to be the time and place, but maybe not. Maybe they do it in 6 days at Elimination Chamber. Kind of hope not. Ricochet, how you doing? Tough loss the other day. How long has he been wearing short trunks? Mania 30 is overrated. I kind of don't think it was. There's just a lot of shit on that show. I mean, I've put over a bunch of times the opening. Like, to me as a fan, like, I'm not a Hogan fan at all. Don't like the son of a bitch at all. But I can't deny, like, what he was to wrestling. So to see him and Hogan and Austin in there, it's like, holy shit. You know, that's a pretty big moment there. You know, and then we had, you know, the pretty crazy Hall of Fame and the major death that we had the next day. The Undertaker losing the streak. Daniel Bryan finally, you know, getting recognized like he always should have been. And WWE finally seeing the light. I mean, that Undertaker 3 count alone is going to put that WrestleMania up there with the most epic ever. So Riddick Moss, is he defending the title or what the fuck? I hate these little stipulations or exceptions to the 24/7 rule, because even if there's one exception to the 24/7 rule, it doesn't make it a 24/7 title. If you can't lose it 24/7, then it's not a fucking 20. You know what I mean? It kind of annoys me. So I guess the rule here is during this match, nobody can run in and pin him. Well, then you have buried your title just like The Fiend. Good job, WWE. I don't even remember. I don't even know where Riddick Moss came from. I don't remember seeing him in NXT. Nothing. He somehow just flew right under my radar.
22 days now, Riddick Moss is the longest reigning 24/7 champion. I was wondering when you guys were going to start talking about Riddick Moss. Right to the back, and Riddick Moss has been impressing.
Yeah, that guy in WrestleMania 30 with the eyes. Oh yeah, speaking of that, remember I was just making fun of Seth a minute ago because he's yelling and screaming, and whenever he yells, it looks like his eyes go crossed. What was the pay-per-view that it was during the Authority era, and he had the title during his 2015 run, I think, when he was champion, and he like retained the title or something at the end of a pay-per-view, and he was outside of the ring, and he goes, and his eyes go funky. What was that? It was Extreme Rules or something like that. You guys will tell me. His eyes do that when he gets mad. I think that's really funny. Thanks for the $2, Solo Local Rager. Appreciate it. Wish I could have seen Rock and Savage in a promo. That would have been good. Shout out to our friend WrestleLamia, who just put up a video on the Savage and Stephanie rumor, because one of the craziest things I always thought is that Savage never came back. And if he would have came back at least to cut promos or something, it could have been pretty epic to have him in the ring, you know, cutting promos with somebody like The Rock. It would have been interesting to see if The Rock could have gotten away with any, like, insults on Savage. You know, by maybe calling him the Nacho Man, or you do this, ooh, yeah, stick it up your ass, candy ass, or whatever. I don't know. It might have been fun and interesting, because it would have been a clash of styles. Rock is very entertaining, very charismatic, and so is Savage, but, you know, Rock is more fun and games. Savage during that time, I would assume, is extremely intense, and, you know, veins popping out of his neck and shit like that, and it would have been interesting. It would have been interesting. Give me 88 Rock. I'm sorry, give me 88 Savage versus 2000 Rock. Holy crap. Put that match together in a video game and tweet it to me. That's a good point, Bruce. You know, I was wondering that myself the other night after Revolution, with Moxley now as the new champion. Don't know if Jericho is going to, you know, get a rematch before he goes off on Fozzy Tour, or maybe just kind of lays low for a couple of months, or if he'll move right into another challenger. And with MJF getting the big victory over Cody, that could be it, because you need a heel babyface type of thing. And oh man, those promos would be fun. And MJF, you know, he'd meet his match, you know, if he was trying to pull that shit with Moxley. You know, Moxley just shove his scarf up his ass, pull it out his mouth. Oh man, how good was Revolution the other night? My God, good stuff.
This should be perfect for you. You're like cheesy. You like cheesy jokes.
You like cheesy jokes.
Only you laugh. No, you laugh so loud you can't hear all the silence out there. I was physically absent in my mind. I had problems at home to my family. People are helping me a little bit nicely. I don't know what they're doing, but still people are my friends.
Savage would have won. I don't know, the 98 or 88 Savage against 2000 Rock. Both were champs around the same time, you know, for around the same amount of time. Savage won the title in 88. You know. No, actually, Rock would have been... Actually, no, excuse me. If it was 2000 Rock, Rock would have had a little bit more experience being world champion than Randy Savage, actually. And I argue that he drew more audience members, maybe, than Savage. WWE was selling out. Business might have actually taken a dip when Savage took the belt after Hogan. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd automatically give that to Savage, even though he's my second favorite wrestler of all time. The match itself would have been super awesome. Would have been cool to see Rock take that top rope elbow. Ooh, man, gives me chills just thinking about it. Randy would own Rock all day. I don't know. He would. I don't think he would. Rock was pretty over and pretty damn comfortable on the mic, and he was changing the game in terms of promos, and things were getting a lot different with Austin and Rock, and some of the things they were saying and doing on the mic were very much different than the 80s. And Savage at that time was in WCW, you know, doing promos. We kind of saw what he became, you know, in the late 90s there. You know, do you think his promos were real? I mean, they were intense, but were they really better and more entertaining than Rock or anything? I say no. Man, I'm the biggest Savage fan in the world. None of y'all are a bigger Savage fan than me. Not one of you. Oh, it is on the line. Okay. I thought it was just a random match, and they were doing that thing where like, oh, you can't run in and try to win the title. But I guess so nobody can interfere in this match, is what they're saying. I don't even think, Trey, that I hate Hulk Hogan. I don't hate him. I've kind of had my ups and downs with him. Like many years ago, I was like, he was infuriating me. I thought he was acting like an asshole on the reality show and everything, and his family was crumbling apart. And, you know, he was somebody that should, in my mind, be sitting back and enjoying retirement, enjoying all the money that he's made, and, you know, being proud of what type of life he made for himself. And instead, it was like added more drama. In the time of his life where he should have the least drama, he's got the most. And putting his family on TV was a bad idea. It turned his kids into fuck-ups, and his marriage crumbled, and, you know, everything is a mess. And he was getting into trouble and doing drugs and fucking radio DJs' wives and shit, and it was just a mess. And then the racist rant tapes and all that, and then on top of everything else, just who Hogan is personally, he's just a compulsive liar. He's full of shit, and, you know, to me, I just don't really like him. You know, it's not like I hate him, you know, because there is a part of me that, you know, wanted to forgive Hogan, you know, when he came back into the company and everything, but it just seemed like every time I was making progress there and be like, okay, you know, Hogan, you know, I can't deny that he was kind of the man. He would do something else to disappoint me, and it was like one thing after another, and I don't think I'm going to come back from this last one. So Hogan's just never going to be my favorite guy, ever. Thanks again, Michael, for another $5, dude. Appreciate it. MJF comes to where I live in Long Beach, New York. His girlfriend lives here, apparently, and MJF stays in character. I mentioned that, too, like when I was on the cruise and stuff, just seeing him walking around and just have to be that 24/7. It'd be really interesting if he can sustain that, you know, for a 20-year career. This 24/7 match between Ricochet and Riddick Moss is still going on. Down goes Ricochet. Ricochet, you're not going to lose to Brock and then lose a 24/7 title match, are you? He is. Damn, that's a pretty big win for this Riddick Moss. All right. Let's hear it for Riddick Moss. Pretty surprising, especially right after he had the match with Brock just a couple days ago. Bad week for you, huh, Ricochet? Bad week for you. My computer is making a lot of noise right now for some reason. You all right, little buddy? All right, that's up next. Top of the hour stuff there. AJ and Aleister Black. That'll be good. Gallows looks like a burnt hot dog. Yep, Ricochet's buried. Might as well cancel your network. Let's all do it together. Let me know when yours is done, and then I'll do mine after. Is that Batista? The fuck? Thanks, C-Mac. Good to be here. Good to see you, too. Thanks for the $5, dude. Like I said earlier, we're going to give the live reactions for Monday Night Raw a shot during WrestleMania month here in March as we build up to the big show. And then in April, we'll reevaluate things. If these are going well and our numbers are good and subscribers are coming in, I'll keep doing them. If not, we'll go back to doing the reviews. Either way, you're going to see me on Mondays, regardless. So it's a win-win either way. But I did these for about a year and a half. They were burning me the fuck out. Shit, some of these questions are broad, man. Evan, I would have to, like, give that some thought. Off the top of my head, I don't have a favorite triple threat match sitting there. I got a bunch that I liked. You know, WrestleMania 20 might be up there with one of the best. I liked a lot of modern-day triple threat matches, too, that we've had. I liked the one a few years back with Brock and, like, Seth and Cena. That was good. The one at the first ever ECW pay-per-view was good. Too many triple threat matches to even think of to try to narrow that down at the moment. Yeah, good idea. Go ahead and unsubscribe from the network now, but subscribe the day before Mania again and get your free one. Would I say Batista is the headliner for the Hall of Fame? Yes, I would. I don't think it's going to be the NWO. I think they're going to be more of a feature thing. I think it'll be Batista. At least I hope. I mean, DX wasn't a headliner. Right? Yeah, I think it's going to be Batista. Taker Angle Rock. What was that from? Portobello's. I'm okay. I like mushrooms. I eat them. I eat mushrooms and food and everything. But I don't like big, giant, hamburger-sized mushrooms. Oh, yeah. That's right. That one was at the Rumble 15, and we know how that ended up. Yeah, that was a very bad night for fans. Very bad night for us. My favorite IC champion is Brett. My favorite everything is Brett. But my favorite IC actually, if I'm not going to pick Brett, I'd probably go Perfect over Savage, even though Savage held the title a lot longer. Yeah, I'm probably going to go Brett, Perfect, Savage, Michaels is my favorite, like, IC champs. Steamboat would be on the list. He just didn't hold the belt very long. He was gone right after he won it. Still can't believe Bray lost a belt, and then he just comes out and challenges Cena. What the F? Did you guys catch the Matt Hardy video yesterday that he released on YouTube? All right, here's Kyrie getting ready. So look at that. Kyrie, or Asuka is injured. I had no idea. All right, here comes AJ. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a match here before whatever is going to happen happens. Because I'm kind of interested in just seeing how that goes. I kind of miss the I don't want none theme. Roderick, you missed a fantastic opening segment with Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Aside from that, oh, I'm sorry, and you missed a tag team title change, so you actually have missed a lot. You missed some good stuff so far in the first hour, and I worry now that the rest of the show is going to be downhill, but here we're kicking off hour number 2 with a pretty sexy-looking match. AJ Styles and Aleister Black. A lot of people are calling for an Undertaker return here. It'd be a good way to get out of not having a finish in this match, not have to beat either guy. or beating AJ with some help from Taker, one or the other. That's true, Marcus. Fiend character and Crow Sting, both great characters with bad booking. Sting, though, was better at first. I started really getting kind of disgusted with the Sting stuff when he joined the NWO. To me, that was the most fucked up part, because the whole reason the Crow gimmick exists to begin with is because people falsely accused him of joining the NWO, which completely changed his personality and, you know, turned him into a crazy person. That's how bad it affected him, and for him to then join them seemed really didn't make any sense. The Fiend, they ruined way earlier than Sting. At least with Sting, they kept us guessing for 18 months while he sat up there in the rafters. So it was a super slow burn, but then once he got into wrestling, it was like all downhill. So I still think Crow Sting was done better than Fiend. Still can't believe Taker did that with his fucking hat on. And I don't classify what happened to the Fiend, Ratnick, as being jobbed. I just classify it as him losing a match I kind of wish he didn't lose. You know, he didn't really he hasn't lost anything. You know, if he jobs every match now, then yeah, he's jobbing out or whatever. But, you know, it's still like a title match kind of thing. I don't consider that being jobbed. Maybe what happened to Ricochet a minute ago, maybe it was more of a job than what happened to the Fiend. I just think it was like a very damaging loss that should have been rethought. Oh, look at that Macho Man fathead in the crowd. That's like 97 WCW Savage. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you got beat with a dude with his hat on. He's phenomenal.
Have you heard what Hollywood's saying? There's a video that has went viral by Mark Wahlberg trying to give me advice. Mark Wahlberg trying to give AJ Styles the phenomenal one.
I don't think the Hell in the Cell match ruined the Fiend. I think it ruined like WWE. I think it ruined the fans' like belief in that stupid match and that stupid pay-per-view. I think they ruined their match concept more than they ruined the Fiend. You know, the Fiend did survive everything. They just stopped the match. You know, so I think what happened to him with Goldberg was far worse.
Walk away. All right, walk away from the situation with The Undertaker. Let it go. Don't push your luck, AJ. I'm telling you, walk away while you still have a chance and while you still can. It's the best advice anybody's going to give you. Walk away.
They should bring Mark Wahlberg in the ring and have him dressed just like Cena, like with the hat and everything, and have him like in the ring together. They look identical. Just one will be a little smaller.
I should be out here celebrating with the Good Brothers. After they defeated the Viking Raiders at Super Showdown, we should be having a good time. I should be in a good mood. But I'm getting advice from Marky Mark.
Well, at least he didn't bring his funky bunch with him. Just chill out. Marky Mark was awesome. I may or may not have owned a cassette single to one of his songs. I'm not saying. I think I found it. So yeah, I found it. That's what it was. I found it. It was like on the ground. I picked it up. I'm like, oh, I dusted it off. And like, oh, look, Marky Mark. Totally didn't buy it or anything. Nope. Just found it.
I'm on a collision course with The Undertaker. Oh, and Undertaker, I hope you're watching today because I have a match with Aleister Black tonight. And after what I do to him,
I bet Mark Wahlberg does hate his Marky Mark days. That's probably pretty tough to take a look back on and be like, God damn, what was I thinking? But, oh well. He's a good actor.
and you're just trying to hold on to that spotlight.
The Departed is one of my favorite Marky Mark movies. That's an awesome movie.
It's mine. It is the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah, Jason, I have a problem with both. You don't have a problem with him defeating the Fiend, but you do have a problem how weak he looked. I agree totally there. Especially after what he survived at that Hell in a Cell match. Goldberg puts him down with the worst fucking jackhammer ever delivered in the history of professional wrestling. That puts him down after everything he's been able to withstand. Sure makes Seth Rollins look like a chump. Seth Rollins brought out a shotgun and shot him in the face, and he kicked out at 1. Goldberg hits him with a somersault, small package jackhammer that my 90-year-old grandmother, who's in a wheelchair, could throw better. I agree totally. Imagine this very match that we're about to see right now. Aleister Black and AJ Styles in the main event of a takeover. You think that one would be pretty good? Or maybe not even the main event. First fucking match. Doesn't matter. NXT ring and a takeover. How Wheezy's finally here. We almost locked the door and didn't let you in. We talked about it. We're like, we should not let him in, but he's here. How Wheezy is here. Moderator extraordinaire. Good Vibrations is a good song. Well, at least he did a lot of sampling for that, but I remember because I would have been, what fucking grade would I have been in when that was coming out? I'm going to say maybe 8th or something. Somewhere around there. Yikes. I remember getting CDs. That was back in the day when you get a CD, they'd come in the long rectangle boxes to kind of prevent stealing.
Hold on a second. Oh, you're gonna get your fight. But someone didn't read the contract that they signed, did they? Which stated, if you want to get to AJ Styles, you're gonna have to go through the toughest man in the building, Carl Anderson.
Oh, man. This is a second advertised match that they're changing?
Well, there's the bell. Obviously some fine print in this. Gallows was trying to distract Black with the outside, so it looks like Aleister Black's got to go for Carl Anderson if he wants to get the style. So, in other words,
That is just insane. So, All Elite Wrestling will book matches for Dynamite like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time. WWE changes 2 matches the same night that are advertised for Raw. I know the Asuka thing wasn't technically their fault.
You always say chocolate so weird. It's like chocolate.
Thanks, Retro Ramos. Tatum had an amazing month. Damn. 30 points?
And you don't say it's very. No, that's just not imitating you. Reese's Overload Waffle Cone. Chocolate.
Tell you what, up until Kobe's death, I was kind of only eyeballing NBA a little bit. But I'm firmly behind our Lakers here to win the title. I really want that for them. Just it would be good for the city, I think. So kind of all on board with the Lakers, hoping they pull it out. But they got some competition. It's probably going to be Lakers-Bucks in the finals. Stone Cold, thank you for another $2, dude. Appreciate it. Speaking of CDs, still have all my WWE theme music CDs. I do too. They're up there somewhere. They're way up top. Back in the day, did anybody ever use there was like 2 of them. One was BMG Music. I remember that because I had the little stickers on the back of my CDs. And there was another one. And it was like advertisements in all every magazine you could find. It was like 20 CDs for a penny or something. And then you'd pay a monthly fee. And they still got you. You still paid either way. But they kind of suckered you in with this like, oh, you get a shit ton of CDs for only a penny. And you'd fill out this form. And I remember doing it. And like mail. It was like a music club. It was like a very early version of a Spotify or an iTunes or something. You know, to where it was all done by mail. And you can kind of keep a fresh collection of music and keep them and pay a monthly fee and then get a bunch or something like that. And I remember doing it. I did it for a few months and got a bunch of CDs. Look it up, kids. It was crazy back then. Columbia House. Yeah, Columbia House. That was it. So maybe I think I might have done both. I kind of remember getting shit from Columbia House too one time. I think I convinced my parents to do it or something for me back when I was young. Oh, look at that from Addicted Chip. Dude, I had the same thought, but it's kind of, it doesn't hold water, though. Thanks for the $2, by the way. So the plot twist, The Fiend is only weak outside of the U.S. I thought the same thing, but you got to remember where he won the title. He won it in Saudi Arabia, so that kind of theory goes out the window. But I did have the same thought. Now, if he wouldn't have lost, if he would have won the title at Hell in the Cell, we might have been able to use that excuse. But he didn't. He won it in Saudi Arabia, so whatevs. I didn't take, oh, you're such a Cena fan, you have his rap CD. I never bought the Cena rap CD. I only bought, like, the theme music CDs, and they did the anthology one, which kind of sucked, and maybe something else, but I only bought those things for, like, the first few years. I remember they also did, it's kind of interesting, I'm curious how they put all that together with the music rights and stuff. Remember when they did, I have it, they had Stone Cold Metal. It was, like, Stone Cold's personal playlist of like favorite metal songs, and it was a CD, and that was kind of weird. Oh shit, I see that now. Super chat Addicted Chip. Did I see Joe Conan rant about me? No, I didn't. I didn't think he would rant about me. Maybe he did. I don't care, but he and I are cool. Hell, he's even on my people not as cool, almost as cool as me list on my YouTube page. I've even got his channel listed there. I've always been cool with Joe. Whatever his problem with me is, I don't know and don't care. Retro Ramos, thanks for the $2, dude. MJ, the GOAT, LeBron equals the King Kobe equals the legend. I liked all three, man. How about that? I used to live in Wilmington. Michael Jordan, born and raised. Met him a couple of times, too. He used to come to Greenville a lot when I was a kid, and I used to be really into baseball card collecting, so much so that I would do, like, baseball card shows, like those big conventions, and I'd have a table set up, and I'd sell my shit. And Jordan came to, like, 2 of them that kind of coincided with a big golf tournament that he would do in Greenville, like, every year. And he came right through, and, like, back then it was, like, during the height of his popularity. So he was the fucking Beatles. I've never seen anything like it. And people just swarmed. It was like just a mob, and he's in the middle of it, and he's trying to fight through, and he's got kind of security, and people are just like putting shit in his face. It was insane. I was way on the other side, but I saw him. He was coming around the way, but he was so mobbed, and there was like no control over the mob. It was really kind of scary, like, to be that level of famous at that time. What a crazy life, man. Oh, see ya. Good night to Carl. So what does this mean? AJ now has to wrestle him? All right, so now he gets to face Styles. He's like, come on, bring it. So Aleister Black hasn't been put down yet, right? He hasn't lost. I don't want this to be it. He's got to fight Gallows first, right?
I may have said this wrong about the contract that he signed. We all saw him sign it, but this is what's in it. If he beats Carl Anderson, which he has.
Hub City, I'm sorry. I kind of am actually working on that. Now he's gonna fight Gallows. Big fucking surprise. At first I was thinking about doing a big, like, kind of collection video. Now I might do, like, small ones. And I started it with a magazine kind of showcase the other day that's on my channel. And I'll probably do one on my, like, media next, like videotapes, DVDs, shit like that. So that'll probably be the next one I work on. If Braun Strowman, I see the referee in there. I'm thinking if Braun Strowman makes it to WrestleMania and he's still Intercontinental Champion, I'd love to see, like, a Nicholas run in or something. Because kids grow a lot. like in short amount of times like that. So last time we saw Nicholas was like, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? He's probably a full foot taller now. Probably looks a lot different. Thanks, Marcus, for $2. What number 2 of a tag team did you like most? You mean like the Marty Jannetty? So, well, some of my favorite tag teams, I liked them all. With Demolition, I was much more of a Smash fan, but Bill Eadie was a boss. Heart Foundation, obviously, you know who I loved, but I was a big Anvil fan. I liked his style. Loved the Dynamite Kid. Many people consider him to be the best wrestler that's ever lived, you know, pound for pound, technically. But I think, like, Davey kind of shined a little more there. Tully and Arn were equals in my book. Shut up, Jerry Lawler. Yeah, it might be something with AJ's health, too. I mean, he didn't do a ton at Super Showdown, and here he's kind of sitting out this match. Oh, Usos and New Day was fun. I loved it when they... I remember who it was. Was it Xavier? They stuck in the corner, and they put the kendo sticks through the cage and pinned him in there. That was great stuff. Oh, we're going to commercial again? Oh, at least it's a split screen. WWE's managed to find a way to give us 11 commercials in one match. Oh, we're not even halfway through this stuff yet. Do I prefer AJ as a face or a heel? Good question. I almost think he's one of those guys. He's not like an Edge where I feel, or an Orton where I feel he's just better. You know, Edge is going to work just fine as a babyface now because everybody loves him and he's back and all that, and he's got a great babyface story. But had he never retired and his career went the way it did, I think Edge was better as a heel, and there's a lot of guys like that. AJ, I feel, really is kind of, it just depends on the situation. He is an over babyface. And I don't consider him to get, he doesn't get the same kind of like mega heat that someone like an Orton would get, or an MJF or someone like that. He can talk shit and stuff, but he's so damn good that it's the fans are going to really, they're never going to hate, he's never going to have Baron Corbin heat, you know what I mean? So with him, I almost think he's one of those toss-up guys. I prefer him as a heel if he has something interesting to do, and I'll prefer him as a babyface if he has something interesting to do there too. What, are we not at 100 likes yet or something? Holy shit. We got a bunch of people in here. Boy, we've been fluctuating with our numbers. We've gone from 100 to 300 to 500, back to 100 again, and now we're back up to 500. So welcome for a bunch of you that are in here right now. Please smash that subscribe button and stick around because I'm going to be up here reacting to Monday Night Raw every week during WrestleMania season. It's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, I'm going to go pull out another cold one. I'm not even going to shut the camera off. Be right back. Go. I'm back. Ugh. Still split screen over there. Gallows has got a near fall on Alistair. Just once I want to see the match end during the split screen. How awesome. You know what, C-Mac? I'm rooting for the XFL. I've not been watching them hard. I watched a couple of the games on the opening week, and I've seen some highlights like on TV. And so far, it's, I think, doing a lot better than the first rendition. I'm just kind of hoping it sticks and, you know, it sticks around. I want to see it work. Good to see Diet Water in here as well. Yeah, I know. Audience is good. Maybe people really miss these Raw reactions. I needed a break from them, man. They were really burning me out. But I'm glad to be here now. As long as the Raws are good, I'll be up here every week doing this. It's fun. I like hanging out with y'all. It really is a gauntlet match, is all it is. Try not to shake my desk too much. I should do a special vid when I get to 30,000 subscribers. Probably not, only because I should have already been there. I should have been there so long ago. So I'm no longer really that impressed with my subscriber count, to be honest with you. So it's not going to be... If I was getting 50,000, then maybe I'd do a big video, but... About, what, 4 or 5 months ago now, we had that drastic, like, just the spigot turned off. Every live stream I was getting close to 100 subscribers. As the DQ hits here, now they're just kicking the shit out of them. And then something happened. There were 1 week, everything just kind of stopped and came to a halt. So I should have been at 30,000 months ago, probably a year ago now. But I'm not the only one. There's a lot of other channels out there that don't really gain any. They lose some, but they don't do a whole lot of gaining. So I'm in the same boat as many, basically. Are we going to get the gong and the lights or what? Is he really going to start this match? Oh, I thought he was just going to call the whole thing a DQ at that point. Kitties are good. Chilling. One is sleeping. Actually, they're both sleeping, but I can only see one. Hopefully they will leave us alone. Oh, Black and Taker teaming up at WrestleMania could be interesting if Taker's a little limited. I think AJ can give him a match, though. Most likely. Is like AJ gonna hit him with a final move here, or is we gonna get a gong? I'm kind of maybe not feeling Taker yet. Maybe next week. Ooh. Ooh. No, not doing wrestling stuff isn't... I mean, maybe it could, but it's not something I wanted. This is a wrestling channel. It'll always be a wrestling channel. There's plenty of other wrestling channels out there that have no problem growing, and I should be no different. So I don't think trying to change topics and stuff is going to do anything. I'd start a second channel if I did something like that, if I want to talk about sports or whatever. But I don't have time to even do that, so... He's going for the forearm. Come on, Alistair. Black mass counter from the forearm. How awesome would that be? Oh, nailed him. Oh, he's going to pin him. Oh, he's going to pin him like Undertaker? No. Damn. Well, you know, if they're going to beat Alistair, I'm glad they did it that way. That's all right. You know, like, if there's going to be people bitching that he lost or something like that, I'm glad that he just didn't, like, lose straight up in a match that was only booked to build to the AJ and Undertaker match. I think that would have been a waste of his loss. He fought 3 guys here, you know. So it's still going to be one of those things where nobody's really put him down one-on-one. I can live with this. Not a big deal. Not freaking out. Although I'm sure people are. Yeah, you guys got to realize, though, the people that are going to be mad about this, WWE realizes that, too. Because if they didn't, they would have just had AJ beat him, which really wouldn't even been that bad. And they still did not want to have Alistair lose, even to somebody the caliber of AJ. So they booked a match where he had to go through the tag team first. That's actually... We should actually be relieved that WWE didn't want to beat Alistair clean one-on-one in a match that's not going to have any future implications because it's only done for the purposes of Taker and AJ. This is fine. This is totally fine. Nobody should be complaining.
Well, as you can see, AJ Styles enforcing his dominance over Aleister Black in that match just now. And now, joining me, a woman looking to assert her own dominance this Sunday at Elimination Chamber, Ruby Riott.
Oh yeah, we got 2 women's chamber matches, don't we?
Ruby, before we get to the interview, let's take a look at what happened several weeks ago.
Oh yeah, they played They Don't Want None. So I guess that theme song is not gone, Angie. I'm very happy. I missed it. That was a good contract signing. That was fun. Liv diving over the table and shit.
Ruby, in just moments, you face Liv Morgan. Sarah Logan is the special guest referee. Do you think anyone would have predicted this group would have split up like you did? People make and break promises every day, Charles. They prove themselves to be loyal or disloyal in a single breath. But now, the only person I'm responsible for is me. And Sunday, I proved my ability to strike whenever I damn well please.
You're not going to win the chamber, Ruby. Shut up.
I showed the WWE Universe
We all know that.
that there are no friends inside the Elimination Chamber.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, Liv Morgan will be one of the 6 superstars inside the Elimination Chamber this Sunday in Philadelphia. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
All right, here comes the Livster.
Sunday earns the Raw Women's title opportunity against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. I promise you the only thing on the mind right now, Liv Morgan is getting
How stupid was, like... What was the point of, like, her returning in the Lana stuff? It's like, they just dropped it. Just so stupid.
The Next Level, starring Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan on digital March 3rd and on Blu-ray March 17th. Liv Morgan takes over former
Luna Stripe, you got an interesting version of Buried. You had to face 2 guys before facing The Undertaker's WrestleMania opponent and then lose. That's not really a burial, man.
Between 16 fried mozzarella bites and a large pizza. Pizza then app. App then pizza. It's your world. We're just making pizza in it. Hurry and try it before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the
Retro Image, am I the only one who just doesn't care who wins and loses anymore? No, you're not the only one. I don't care either. Most cases. There's only, like, extreme cases. You know, most of the time, none of this shit matters. Every time people fly off the rails, 9 times out of 10, it has no real damage is done. But there are times when it's just like WWE makes the most insane decision. They're like, well, you guys just screwed yourselves over. And I think that, you know, the match with The Fiend and Goldberg was one of those moments. So I only care, like, super extreme cases. Most of the time, if Roman's winning a title, I don't care. I'll let all the other unstable YouTubers go scream their balls off about that. I could care less. But sometimes I think they do damage. They do, like, actual legit damage to investments, and I think that's stupid. Hey, in a way, I'm glad Asuka is injured and is not in this match because she would have lost. You know, this is all about Becky and Shayna at this point, even though we still have the Elimination Chamber coming up in a few days. I think that, I don't think it'll be anything other than Shayna just choking one of these girls out. Yeah, I think I'm more rooting for XFL than just like full-blown interested in it. Like I watch it, I look at it a little bit, but I more just want it to be successful. I want people to like it and get into it and all that. So you know, Ricochet is 100% buried now. Well, here's the thing about Ricochet. This is why I don't agree with that either, because where is he going to be on the card next week? The same place he was on the card this week. He's always in that situation on the card. Yeah, he had that one crazy match that came out of left field against Brock Lesnar, but I think that was just done to give Brock, an opponent, something to do in Saudi Arabia, and that was it. Otherwise, Ricochet wrestles the same level of matches on Raw on the Spartan the cards that he always does. So next week, Ricochet will be in the same spot, even with this loss to Riddick. So if Ricochet turns into one of those guys that chases the 24/7 title around, along with EC3 and Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose and Heath Slater and all those other recluses, then yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ricochet's too valuable, too good, and he'll just be a guy on Raw that'll never be champion, but just be having matches, you know? I think a burial should at least make the person worse off than they were the week before, and I think next week Ricochet will still be same old Ricochet. Nothing will really be different, because he wasn't involved in high-profile matches to begin with, other than the Brock one. He's had some good matches on Raw. Don't forget that great one he had last year was against Drew. That was King of the Ring, and he won. Didn't he beat him? That was fabulous. And hell, if anything, they should have Ricochet win a couple of more matches, because that might be a good first little opponent for McIntyre, like on TV. If he does win the title, just randomly on Raw, give Ricochet a title match. And they can refer back. Remember when he beat him in last year or whatever? I don't know. We got Jeff. We got Brother Nero on Backstage tomorrow night. Should be interesting, because Matt Hardy's contract is up officially. And technically, legally, he could appear on Wednesday on Dynamite. Sarah Logan is the referee? I had no idea. I missed Charlie Caruso saying that because I was talking to y'all. What's going on, Mr. E? Good to see you. Yeah, we talked about that the other night on Saturday after Revolution. It's probably likely that a TV title is in their future. The only reason I didn't face Lesnar in Saudi Arabia is because I refused to work over there. I mean, they wanted me to, but I'm like, hell no. So I stayed behind with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. Double or Nothing's way too long to wait for Matt. Not with him being contractually free. I understand that Wednesday might be a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of a taking things a bit fast, but Double or Nothing would take way too long. By then you're telegraphing it. By then you'll know. By then the fans will know what the fuck. There's still a chance you can kind of be surprised here. And they had the latest hint. Did you see that? Right after his contract expired, AEW put up a graphic. The Exalted One is coming, and inside the letters of the Exalted One, in really faint black, was written he's sitting in a dead chair. And Matt Hardy did that video of him sitting in this giant wooden chair. Or sitting in a dead tree, excuse me. And Matt Hardy did the video of him sitting in a giant wooden chair. It's interesting. I don't know. That could mean something or whatever. So I think they're trying to tease us. And they tried to throw a curveball at us with the Raven thing and all that. But yeah, Wednesday might be a bit early. Matt Hardy still claims that he's weighing all of his options, including WWE and including that deal that was reported of him getting offered to him to go to NXT and work there. So I guess it's not a done deal yet, but whatever Matt Hardy does, you bet your ass he's going to do his best to throw everybody off the trail and say whatever he has to do to make fans go in the other direction and then do the other thing. So that's why I think something like this Wednesday would be a surprise, because maybe many like you probably aren't expecting him to appear that quickly. Maybe save it for a pay-per-view or something, but I just think May would be too long. Like Matt Hardy said himself in his video that he doesn't have time to like wait around, you know. He's older, he needs to stay relevant, and sitting out for 3 months might not be a good idea. I didn't know about this match either. Rey and Humberto taking on Andrade and Angel Garza. Tag match tonight. Andrade is officially back, I guess. Good. Antoine, how are you? Good to see you, man. Thanks for the $5. Hey, bro. So did we crap on the Black versus AJ match? Us fans need to know what protection is. He was pretty much wearing a condom. No, we weren't crapping on it over here. I said the same thing. I'm like, the cool thing about that match, and I know a lot of fans are going to instinctively, because that's the way they are going to instinctively just immediately be mad and push back on that. But you got to remember, WWE realizes that it might not be the best idea to beat Aleister Black either, or as well. So what did they do? They made him jump through a whole bunch of flaming hula hoops in order to get AJ Styles, who eventually beat him. So if you're going to beat him, at least you beat him that way. And hell, between now and WrestleMania, you can do a return and have him win, maybe with a little assistance from the Gong, from The Undertaker, and he'll get his win back, you know? So I think I would have been a little bit more upset if AJ would have beat him clean, but even if he did, it's AJ fucking Styles. There's no such thing as a burial when that guy beats you, even if he beat you clean without the help of his boys. But Aleister had to go through all of them first in order to get to AJ, then lost. Anybody that classifies that as a burial, I classify you as a moron. Sorry. Is Logan going to help out either one of these girls, or does she not care?
This matchup, especially for Sarah Logan, stuck blindside shot by Ruby Riott. Now Logan shakes off the cobweb, gets into the cover, and a kick out.
Oh, thanks for another one, Antoine. No shit, your notifications didn't show me that this was on? That's weird. YouTube's been funny, man, and the audience in this thing's been all over the place. We went from 100 to 300 to 200 to 500 to 600 to 300. We're all over the place. Now we're at 235. All right, Liv picked up the quick win. Good job, Livers. That's her name now, by the way, Livers. I kind of like her theme song, sort of. Oh, now she's mad. Now Ruby's mad. Damn, there's both beating down poor Ruby now. Oh, Sarah, you little bastard. Oh, sweet. Thank you for that, How Weezy. Thanks for the $5. Going to another convention, huh? Big surprise. Matt Hardy already booked for the Fan Fest I'm going to this Saturday. Plus, The Undertaker will be there. Excited to show you pics with my custom GoodMicWork tee. You're wearing that Tampa one, aren't you? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure you'll hook me up with a bunch of pics on Twitter. Once you do, I'll shoot them a retweet and share them with the world, man. Thanks. That's going to be fun on Saturday. Look at Sarah Logan getting, like, a moment on Raw. If he comes out and punts Beth tonight, I'm going to freak out. I don't know, Clyde. Who would I book Brody Lee against in his first feud? It depends on... I don't know if he's going to be... You got to, like, know what he's going to do first, I feel. Like, is he going to be a heel? Is he going to be a baby face? I've heard his name tossed around as being the exalted one as well, which in a way might be even better. I mean, do you really think Matt Hardy would be a great fit for the Dark Order? I feel like he'd have to turn a little bit dark and turn a little bit evil. He's still kind of funny, Matt, a little bit when he does that shit. So I don't even know if he's a perfect fit for them. But maybe somebody like Brody Lee would be, although he'd be less known, because he wouldn't be known as Luke Harper there, and Matt Hardy's got, you know, much more name recognition, I guess. But I don't know. If he comes in as a heel, which he probably will, who the fuck is in AEW right now that might be fun for him to battle with? Doesn't necessarily have to be a big guy, like a Luchasaurus or anything. I think it just depends on what he does. It's a good one for this year. Lance, is there a WrestleMania that you were not a fan of, but when you got older, it grew on you? Or you grew up to respect it? Well, not really at first, because I liked most of them. The only ones I didn't like really were like WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania 11, and those just, they weren't going to grow on me. But then I was old already by the time the other WrestleManias came around. So I got to think about one that maybe I didn't like at first, but looking back, I'd probably say 21. 21 is a WrestleMania that, at the time, personally, in 2005, I was really missing the old days, you know, the days of the Attitude Era. Wasn't into these new guys. Brock Lesnar had even recently left the year before. And to me, I didn't feel like Batista was a suitable replacement. I think Batista was a tenth as good as Brock Lesnar. And I felt like that's the void they were trying to fill by replacing that big monster with another one that they've created. And I didn't think it was, I wasn't into it. I wasn't into Cena either. Beating, you know, winning the title. I just didn't really like their direction. But as years went on, and I look back at that show now, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. There was some pretty damn good matches on there. Ray and Eddie had a fantastic match. I think they opened the show that year. Undertaker and Randy Orton was great. Batista and Triple H, there was something to be said for that match as well. Great moments with Hogan and Piper and Austin and all sorts of great shit going on. So looking back, I think that pay-per-view was, I'd put that one up there as number one, as far as the one that I didn't show respect to enough at the time. Brody and Lance Archer. Now, Lance Archer debuts this week, I think, on Dynamite. So good to see him back here in the States. Oh, that's cool, Trey. You were actually in luck about that. WrestleMania 11, I was not a fan of that Lawrence Taylor match, but the concept of the match. The match itself far exceeded expectations. Taylor and Bam Bam both crushed it. Bam Bam deserves a lot of praise for that. But Taylor, you know, he was doing some stuff too. Pretty impressive for somebody who's never been in the ring before. But overall, I fucking hated that WrestleMania. But the WrestleMania special video that I have planned for March 15th is going to be a look at 3 WrestleManias, a chunk of 3 of them, basically the new generation era. It's going to be the 3 WrestleManias after Hogan left, 10, 11, and 12. And we're going to take a look at all of those WrestleManias, go through the results, and compare the differences in the year prior as we go through the 3. I think it'll be a fun, just nice like WrestleMania discussion, something fun to put up on the channel for WrestleMania time, and that'll be up in 2 weeks on March 15th. Keep a lookout. Listen to these fuckers. Goldberg's Universal Championship victory is the most liked photo on WWE's Instagram of all time. How is that possible? They are lie. They sit on a throne of lies. Todd, how old is Archer? Like 68? No, I don't think he's quite 68. I think he turned 68 in September, so he's still on the big 6'7" right now. I don't know his age, but it ain't young. Oh, are we going to get Beth coming up here soon?
You think you know me?
Now you just got to think. I got to think about what week we see Edge. It's got to be next week, right? Night after Elimination Chamber. Probably going to be your biggest audience coming right after a pay-per-view. Whatever they do here with Beth Phoenix and however Randy Orton disrespects her, whether that's physically or verbally, it's going to happen. And then Edge comes back. Miss Super Chats? Oh, no, I just haven't gotten to these yet. Don't worry, I'll get there. I see Marcus. I see you. Did I miss another one? How Wheezy, I got you. And then, oh, yeah, I missed that one down here, Antoine. Thanks again for 5 more. I'm in Tampa. Scared for WrestleMania. They talking about locking down flights, etc. for 6 weeks. I guess you're talking about their coronavirus. We mentioned that earlier. We talked about that earlier on. And I'm no expert on this at all. But I just think, like, if it's going to become, like, a worldwide thing and shit gets real gnarly and shit's locked down, I just don't think it's going to happen in the next 3.5 weeks. And I think we'll make it to Mania. You know, but then what happens in the rest of the year, I don't know. It's a bit scary, but I'm trying not to think about it and hoping nothing happens and it just goes away. And thanks for another $2, Marcus. WrestleMania 21, new era, Cena, Batista, Edge, Money in the Bank. It was really the launch of the new era. Because Edge would go on to hold that Money in the Bank for like 9 months, 10 months, something like that, until he would cash it in the next year. All right, they're replaying all this Randy Orton Edge shit, by the way, for those of you scoring at home. Ha, mystery. Now, that's normally a comment that I would shoot down because everybody that told me that, do you think Goldberg could beat The Fiend in order for Roman to not get booed at WrestleMania? And I said, no, that's fucking stupid. WWE wouldn't do that. And they did it. So here, your idea of sticking Corbin into the match, making it a triple threat in order to take the heat off of Roman and Goldberg. So normally that is just a ludicrous idea to me, and I would shoot it down before I even finish reading the sentence. But considering what they did at Super Showdown, anything's possible. And dude, you might be right. Edge messed up. He should have signed with AEW. No way. Not Edge. There's plenty of talent that would be much better off in AEW than WWE, but Edge is not one of them. Look at this angle that he's involved in here. Plus, he gets to be Edge. You want to see him in AEW to be Adam Copeland? Come on. I love AEW, but let's not be stupid. WWE is the place for Edge. That's his home. It's where he's been. He was born there. And he's coming back after all these years working a high-profile match against one of, WWE's modern-day Rushmore guys at the biggest show of them all. There is no downside to that. This is nothing but good for Edge. Not one single thing about it is bad. So no, AEW is not the place for him at all. Here comes Beth. Alexa, I'm hoping that nobody faces Triple H. I think Owens and Seth are going to be the ones there, but... Look at No Way Jose. Oh, Jesus. It's like in a TV show or in a sitcom where there's the top story of the show and then there's like a B storyline and a C storyline. This is like the H storyline. Are we finally going to see what's in the cage? I doubt it. Why do I feel like you're full of shit, Eric Rowan? It's just a mechanical spider? I can hear the motors, like, moving the legs. That's a dumb... oh, my God. After all those weeks... I told you last week, didn't I say this? I said, at this point, whatever's in that cage is going to be fucking stupid, because it became apparent to me a couple of weeks ago that WWE doesn't even know what they want to be in that cage. They had him come out there with the cage without knowing what they were going to put inside it. There is no way a stupid mechanical spider was the plan from the word go. Absolutely not. This company sucks. There's an article on why they did it. They built that shit for what, 12 weeks? For it to be a toy spider. Remember Mojo Rawley? Yeah, I remember him. He sucked. What happened to him? Is he retired? Well, that was a fart. You got that right. That whole segment was just a fart. Warm fart. Oh, I can't eat those things. Those Reese's peanut butter eggs, it's too much. I remember I ate one. I got one once, and I took a bite, and it hurt my teeth. It's too much. And I love Reese's cups, but those things are stupid. That's so funny. I'm seeing people bitch about the black match. Get over yourselves. God damn.
Once upon a time, there was a dragon who never learned to fly. It was always doing other things. But one day, a bird appeared and said, I'll take you.
Remember Jason Jordan? Yeah, I remember him too.
But who will keep the fires lit and make sure my family is always warm? You will, said the bird. You're a mighty dragon. And soon, she was flying.
God, these commercials are awful.
This Justin, is Jonah Hill going to flake out on Martin Scorsese? The world wants to know.
Here's the deal. She's not the one for you. She's not going to protect all this stuff with State Farm. How's she going to protect the house? Like a good neighbor? State Farm.
Sorry, I'm tweeting about the toy spider.
Doesn't mean you gotta spend a lot, because Denny's brought back the Super Slam with eggs, hash browns, bacon, sausage, and pancakes, all for just $5.99. The $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
This should be perfect for you. You like cheesy movies, you like cheesy jokes.
Very, very cheap.
I like the cheese in the middle.
My favorite.
I just love this junior double stack cheeseburger.
Don't be touching them.
How goodness milk in sashimi smoothie. What's up? This is a team I can work with.
You wanted me back. I'm taking us back.
You have no idea what's coming. Consider this a professional courtesy.
It is a wild night live here in Brooklyn for Monday Night Raw. They had no idea what that was.
Yeah, now it's like Rowan's pet monster is buried. So, yeah, it's like kind of like a night of just burying shit, right? People are considering this a big burial night. Ricochet, even though people think Aleister Black is buried, is stupid. But I can see that people are going to think that just because the mentality of the fans, that's the way they are. So Ricochet, Black, and now the spider, or the thing in the cage. Who's next? Who can we bury next? Beth Phoenix?
His hands on Drew McIntyre. It's over like that. And you want to know why? Because Drew McIntyre is nothing more than a stupid
He called him a stupid big bitch, and then he punked out Brock. That opening segment was great, man. I love that stuff. I swear, when he pulled out that spider, maybe it was just something on the TV. I thought I could hear like the motor like moving the legs and stuff. I'm like, it's like literally a toy. And everybody like ran away from it. I'm like, it's a fucking toy, man. Yeah, maybe I'll be the next one buried. I'll run out there. Claymore on the stage, and he nipped up after that. My God. Yeah, they might do a thing where Rowan pulls out something different out of the cage every week. That's possible. Then it'll just turn silly. Oh, yeah, Brock got buried by Drew. I forgot. So Brock got buried, too. Ricochet definitely got buried. We all know that. The idiot portion of the wrestling audience is going to say that Aleister was buried, and there's a lot of them. And then the spider in the cage, Beth Phoenix will probably get buried and punted and sent back to NXT in this segment with Randy Orton. And what else? Seth Rollins got buried, former world champion, beat Brock Lesnar twice and lost to the Street Profits. What a night. Oh yeah, Kairi Sane, we can't forget that. She's about to get her bury on. Remember when Kairi Sane was a pirate? I don't know, Barry. He's going to have to get a big cage to fit Moppy in there. It's going to have to be awfully long. It's going to have to be like, whatever you'd carry your pool cue in. One of them things. Buried Sarah Logan, too. That's true. She's buried. I saw that. Batista wants Finlay. And I think people who are going in, especially as the headliner of the Hall of Fame, should be able to pick whoever they want. And Finlay was influential to him, so I'm all for it. It might not be as exciting for us, the fans, but it's about Dave. It's his night kind of thing, so I'm never going to get upset with who people pick. Unless it's like something WWE does where they got like Stallone to do Hogan. That was like dumb. But if it's like somebody that the talent truly wants, like I want this person, like I wouldn't have had the career I had without this person, so I want them to induct me, I couldn't possibly shit on that. I would never do that. I would never be that self-centered and that selfish that I would have a problem with it just because it's not the most entertaining for me. You know, let him pick whoever he wants. It's his day. Oh, yeah, and of course, Michael Cole buried everybody, but luckily he's not on the show tonight. Okay, good. Asuka's about to cut a Jake the Snake style promo here. Let's all admire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They're right. So I'll translate. What she said in Japanese is she said, Shayna, you are lucky tonight. And she said, because she got injured. Like, you're lucky I speak Japanese. And Kairi is now saying she's got this. And Asuka said, okay, and they just hugged. They hugged in Japanese. Oh, it's her wrist. Mm-hmm. Can't argue with that. Yeah, she's saying that she's going to win and face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. And Kyrie agrees. And now they're laughing. What a promo. This is better than New Age Outlaws, man. So Asuka just said Kyrie's hungry for Shayna Baszler. You guys ever need me to translate anything else, just let me know. I'll be happy to. All right, this is our first match on Raw. And this is a rivalry renewed, correct? They had plenty of battles in NXT. Was this the finals of the tournament? Didn't they trade a couple of victories, didn't they?
Heard it through the grapevine that there is no woman in the back, no woman on the WWE roster that relishes the chance to get in the ring with Shayna Baszler right now.
Lawler, nobody told you that through any grapevines. Shut up.
Shayna Baszler hit Becky Lynch on the back of the neck. This match is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Tom, let's not forget what Shayna Baszler said she would do to all her opponents inside the Elimination Chamber. She said she would...
I do agree with that, Mike Witt. Like, I'm surprised that, like, AJ and Alistair was like, now that could have been, like, built to. But at the same time, you need AJ to kind of get some sort of a victory over a major talent heading into his Undertaker match. He's the one, he's the one with a WrestleMania match booked, not Alistair, to be honest. So I really don't have any issue with that. But I think that match itself could have been made more fun if it was in a more featured spot. It was just done for the purposes of the feud. But you got to give at least WWE a sliver of credit for not being stupid and recognizing that, hey, even though AJ is a star and a former world champion, I'm not sure if we need to have Alistair taking a clean loss right now on TV. So why don't we have him face both members of the OC first and then face AJ and then go down? You know, to me, that's a compromise I'm willing to accept. It's a lot better than what WWE mostly does, and they don't give a shit and think that through at all, and don't have that much forward thinking to the way they just beat somebody and fucking ruin any momentum they had. So I don't consider that to be this one of those type of situations here. You know, just logic. WWE does that, don't get me wrong, they definitely are guilty of that, but I don't think they're guilty of it in this case. If it was up to me, I probably would put AJ in against somebody completely different altogether and maybe not done the match at all. But the fact that they did do the match and they didn't just straight up beat him clean, to me is a silver lining there, and I can take something positive away from it.
Submission attempt there by Baszler again. Oh, look at the strength of Shayna Baszler. Kyrie able to slip behind.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt Kyrie is going to lose this, and she's probably gonna get choked out. It's all about building Shayna's momentum at this point, so Kyrie's gonna be the one to lose here. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yeah, my hair is on point. I got it did. It was so good today. Oh man, I've been dying to get these highlights. Because I called the salon. I'm like, do you have any flesh-colored highlights? And they're like, no, we don't have them in. It's going to take like 2 weeks to order them. So I'm like, please let me know when they come in. So they called today and got it. So I got my scalp frosted pink. Or red. Whatever fucking color I am. But the funny thing is, when it came to Jerry Lawler's commentary, I liked him with Jim Ross just fine. But even during like the peak of the Attitude Era and all of Lawler's like stupid one-liners and jokes and perverted comments and stuff, that still wore out its welcome rather quick. I only had a couple of years there where I really enjoyed Lawler, you know, and then after a while it's like, oh my God, stop repeating the same shit every fucking week. Like, Jesus, that's all he does. And nowadays when he busts out his one-liners, he gets them wrong, or he tries to, you know, he just pulls an old one out that he said probably 100 different times on Raw, and then he words it differently. It sounds like shit. It's just not the same. JR's got that problem too on AEW. He doesn't know what's going on. Hey, We Are Pro Wrestling. What's on? What's on? Good to see you. What's going on? Glad you're here as well, hanging out with us. Oh, Jesus, that looked like shit. Oh, my stream briefly buffered there, but we're good. Yeah, like sometimes when Lawler would flip out, like how you're talking about the puppies, it would be funny. You know, you're like, oh my God, puppies. And JR's like, JR would like calm him down. Like, okay, King, we see puppies. You know, but sometimes it's just. Like, I draw a distinct line between the type of comedy of like a Jerry Lawler and a Bobby Heenan. Completely two different types of comedy. Lawler's like kind of a cheap laugh. Oh, that's a bad. Is she gonna stomp on her foot? Where Heenan is more like, oh God, sarcastic, and can be a little bit more witty and dry and creative with his comedy. Where Lawler's just reciting Henny Youngman. Oh. Becky's coming right now? We're not even going to get a finish in this? Here I thought Kyrie would just get put down hard. What is she wearing? Maybe Kyrie will roll her up and get a quick pin here. Nope. Oh, they're going to go to commercial. Ah, crap.
I got some fries, some nuggets, double cheeseburger, a cookie, the spice things here, sausage, and
Oh, hell no. Heenan would not be able to get away with most stuff. I mean, he would. There was no one was off limits. He'd make fun of little people and big people and all sorts of shit. I forgot what show it was on. I think it was WrestleMania or something, and Gorilla was like, just a reminder, kids, you know, don't try any of this stuff at home or whatever. And Heenan goes, yeah, try it in your backyard. It's more fun. I think Bobby Heenan created backyard wrestling. It's because of him that it existed to begin with. Lawler gets his jokes from Laffy Taffy rappers. That's pretty funny. Those jokes are pretty bad. Those are pretty bad. I have no idea why the CFOs left WWE, and I'm surprised that they haven't really been able to, like, really replace them. I don't know what they're doing for theme music production right now, but it should be an easy fix, you know? Like, they got tons of money. They're a huge company. Just go out and get somebody else to produce your shit. So I don't know why they left, but if you ask me, Jim Johnson should have never left. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. You hit the nail right on the head. You pretty much echoed my exact tweet that I just sent out just a little while ago. I'm like, just relax, everybody. Stop being so quick to fly off the rails. This one I can let slide. I'm much more upset about the mechanical spider than what happened to Alistair. Oh, the Bobby Heenan show, man. Back in the day, I used to watch that, man. That was like 89. I used to love watching primetime wrestling because that was before Raw. And when they were doing the deal when Piper was feuding with Rude and Piper was featured on a lot of those primetime episodes, and then Heenan got his own show, and he had like the Oinkettes, who I think were the Rossetti sisters who go way back with WWE. They always had a great relationship with them. And oh my God, those were the days, man. That was so fun. I'm surprised. I mean, if they did Tuesday Night Titans and they did primetime, I'm surprised Heenan never really actually got a show. He should have. He really should have. That should have remained on. I mean, they got Ms. and Mrs. now that I think I'm... Oh, no, I'm not watching that. I thought I was seeing a commercial for that now. Bobby Heenan's show would have been great. They should hire Weird Al. That would be interesting. No, Tessa, I don't really watch you in Impact Wrestling. I'm very sorry. I watch a little bit. Congrats on your win, by the way. Oh, CFOs are having an issue with their label? What's wrong? Is it coming off? Like, if you just use a little glue, you know, or something, maybe some double-sided tape, just put it right back on. Should be fine. Somebody tweet them that.
Shayna Baszler's first ever match here on Raw against Kyrie Sane before the break. The man, Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, came out to get eyes on this matchup with Shayna Baszler, who's involved in the Elimination Chamber match this Sunday in Philadelphia. We are joined on commentary by...
Oh, Becky came all the way out there to go on commentary? Are you allowed to do that? Just play your music and have your smoke and your steam and your fireworks go off right in the dead center of a match? She's wearing the crown. That's funny. Hey, I like King Becky a lot more than King Corbin. I do everything better than everybody else. I beg to differ, Becky. I like you, but I beg to differ. Man, looking back, too, I'm really glad that they did put the belt on Moxley, because that just, when it comes to, like, title changes in the past week, man, you talk about one being amazing and one being shit. Becky said there's been 21 men who main event WrestleMania. There's been like 30, there's been like 70. Actually, there's probably been 71 if you count that triple threat at 20. And there's only one year they didn't. That was last year with Becky and Ronda. So you're talking 34 WrestleManias times 2. That's 68. Adding one more, 69. Was there any other weird... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That 69 plus 3 more. You're looking at 72 for WrestleMania 1's tag match. I'm thinking it's 72. Unless... Oh, no, and then WrestleMania... 2000 was a 4-way. So there's 3 more. 75. 21, 22, 23, 24. 25. Okay, I think that's right. I think it's been 75 men, not 21. Becky Lynch. Idiot. Oh, nice counter to that elbow. Put both feet up. She's done. Kyrie's done. That was actually pretty good. Mismatch is over. Kyrie went for the insane elbow and Shayna put up 2 feet. Blasted poor Kyrie right in the face. Choked her out. She's done. Yeah, I counted the 4-way at 16. I think I got it right. I think it's 75 men, if my math is right. Oh, wait, no, I got to add another one because WrestleMania 30 was a triple threat. So now we're up to 76. Becky, shut up. Misty Carmichael interviewing Humberto and Ray. You can't count Hogan 9 or 10 times. Yes, you can. That's too much math, because then you have to take out everybody that's main evented more than once. Hogan and Triple H and all sorts of fucking guys. But either way, it ain't 21.
By saying that Humberto is the type of competitor that no matter how many times you take him down, he keeps getting back up.
Kyrie is buried. I'm going to rant on Twitter. BRB. Have fun, Paulie. Rant away.
Para mí, la familia es lo más importante. Para mi primo no lo es.
Humberto said his family's very important.
Between us will end when and how we want it to end.
On a men's tour, the mentor Rey Mysterio teaming up with the young Humberto Carrillo tonight.
Math isn't Becky's strong suit. Clearly not. Yeah, I would think that even if you subtract out everybody's multiple appearances, you're still way over 21. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. There's been 36 fucking WrestleManias, you know? All right, so during the entrances, let's figure. I'm gonna count more than 21 right now. Let's start with 4, the first ever WrestleMania, and that includes Hogan's, right? So then after that, we got Bundy, and then we got Andre, then we got Savage and DiBiase, then Savage again, then we got Warrior, then we got Slaughter, then we got Sid, then we got Bret Yoko, then we got Bret and Yoko again, then we got Diesel, Michaels, Bret and Shawn cancel out. Taker Sid cancel out. Austin in 14. Oh, this might be right. Rock at 15. Foley, Show, Triple H at 16. So now I'm at 20. Right? Now I'm already at 20 right there, I think.
Here it comes.
Don't trust people, especially not in the center.
Or 15, excuse me. And then what happened after that? 16, then 17 was Rock and Austin again. 18 was Jericho, so you can add him. 19 would have been Brock and Angle, 2 more. So now I think we're up to 18 if my count is correct. 20 was Benoit. There's 19 right there. 21, Batista. I think that's 20. Who main evented in 22? Cena. So now we're already there. It's like, did you ever see that Friends episode where Ross made everybody write down the 50 states and nobody could do it? It's kind of like that. I counted Savage. I might have said Savage's name twice, but I don't think I counted him twice.
What is happening? What is all of this?
We hunt human beings for sport.
Besides, Savage was actually only in one WrestleMania. No, 2. Oh, yeah, 4 and 5. So I guess he wasn't 2. Yeah, but for WrestleMania 5, I think I didn't count either one of them.
Everyone is lying.
Remember the days when Austin said, if you're ready for WrestleMania, give me a hell yeah, and this year's a hell no? Oh, man, he better not come out to the ring during the WrestleMania build and say that. Yeah, Jericho was buried on Saturday night. Yep, totally buried. Totally jobbed out. Might as well go to AEW. Oh, shit, he's already there. Well, I don't know what he does now. Pretty random, but I just got finished reading Animal Farm. I read that in school. Has Raw been good tonight? I would say, yeah. I enjoyed the first hour immensely. Really good tag team title match and title change. Brock and Drew had a really good opening segment. We're getting some more storyline here with AJ and Undertaker. It looks like that's going to be a done deal starting next week. Beth Phoenix is coming back later. I'd say okay. It's not been a terrible Raw.
Well, last Friday, SmackDown Ultra Boss TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Tickets are available.
Tickets on sale Friday for SummerSlam. My Boston friends, are y'all going?
SummerSlam in Boston, Beantown.
Beantown Summer?
Up here tonight on Monday Night Raw in Brooklyn, New York. It is Andrade, the United States champion, teaming with Angel Garza. The two. Garza doing?
Where's Garza going?
That's a good question. Oh my God.
Oh man, she's hot.
King, what have you said that he's
You should get some of that, Angel.
He's got better dimples than Humberto. They are cousins. Selena Vega's two associates, Andrade and Garza, set to team up against Humberto Carrillo and Rey Mysterio. And Byron, let's not forget how personal this rivalry is. Well, listen, it runs deep on multiple levels. You think about all the
That was probably a pretty good tag match, but damn, we've seen these guys a lot interact in the last couple weeks.
Carrillo, Andrade, Rey Mysterio have all been put on the injured reserve because of that vicious DDT on the exposed concrete. Remember, Andrade at one point drove Carrillo into exposed concrete, and then it was Carrillo who returned the favor. Whoa. Showboat now. Trying to surprise Garza and Andrade, and now Mysterio.
Oh, Ray.
Sent to the barricade.
So these are the four guys that we were expecting to have some sort of a something involving the U.S. title at WrestleMania. So I don't know if this tag match will lead to an eventual fatal four-way, or if it'll lead to something more simplified. I think it's almost too late for the masked title match now.
Next thing you know, he's going to get hurt. Listen, King, Ray was just doing the right thing. You know, he's developed a friendship, mentorship.
Thank you, Jamie. 32 men and 3 women confirmed for Mania main events.
His own family, his own cousin.
That's good. So yeah, Becky was way off, but I had 75. That's because I was adding total competitors.
Tailbone first into the canvas. And now it's Angel Garza, the cousin of Humberto Carrillo. Let's not forget how Angel Garza made his mark his first night on Raw. He took out his own cousin and then found himself in a matchup with Rey Mysterio when Rey came to the aid of Carrillo.
Antoine, who the hell's Carlio?
Angel Garza is built for himself.
Or Calrio? They already had a bunch of matches, man.
NXT debuted to a championship in the history of that brand. Now the tag, in comes Andrade.
Has LeBron been buried in 6 NBA Finals since he's 3-6? Yeah, he has. Totes buried. Hopefully he can up that record, that winning percentage a little more this year. If they're able to pull it off.
Selena Vega in the corner. The association that Selena Vega's put together, United States champion Andrade and Angel Garza, looking pretty good right now. Oh, and look at this Andrade, all this pent-up aggression for
Pent-up aggression.
Selena's one of the most vindictive individuals
Oh, man.
anywhere, but
All right, I think I can be back real quick before this match ends. Let me just take a quick pit stop. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
superstars, yeah, showing out here in this match. And look at
Showing out.
trying to battle out of a circumstance, and there goes Garza. Carrillo's not done yet. Oh, right to the shoulder. Now a cover by Carrillo, kick out by Andrade. They're flying around here like Superman. What do you think he is? Kick right to the back. How about the renewed confidence of Carrillo, considering he stood up for himself? He took out Andrade for about a month. Oh! Carrillo showing he's got to sit at discos. All right, he's not going to back down just because he's got family strife. He's going to step up and fight. A moment of tranquilo for Andrade. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and Garza. Oh, boy, look, this game going like this. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Carrillo did it for him. That's disrespectful. And a drop kick into Andrade. And now Mysterio sending Garza across the ring.
Man, I'll tell you what. This, Beth Phoenix being the main event is pretty promising. Oh, we're going to a commercial. As soon as I sit back down, I'll be back on camera in a second, guys. 1 second.
So you can follow your order or not. Use it to
All right.
delivery alert so we don't catch you before you're ready. Get any 2 or more medium
Opening one final one here.
$5.99 each. There he is. Oh wow. You're doing really
Oh, yeah, Marcus, we just played the math game with that Becky Lynch quote there.
okay. I'm going. I'm gone. Like I wasn't here.
Keep doing it, buddy. Switch to progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the sign says. really hits the spot after spending 12 hours in a room with no windows? Not a protein bar. I'm talking about a burger with a crispy little cheese.
What do you mean, Aaron? Moxley is also the longest reigning champ? Longest reigning champ of what? Oh, U.S. champ, maybe. That I can see. He did hold that belt for a long time, didn't he? Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, if it was real, I don't count that. I think the last match. I think WWE, that double main event shit. Oh my god, they started doing that whenever Hogan wasn't champion. The whole reason that in 1988, I swear to fucking Jesus, they did the co-captains thing for the Survivor Series teams. The only reason that was done is because Hulk Hogan wasn't the champion. So if you only made one captain, somebody's getting left out in the cold. Either your, poster boy Hulk Hogan is not the captain, which they can't do that, or your champion is not the captain, which also sucks. So lo and behold, poof, co-captains are born. All out of ego and politics. So stupid. Like, would it have been so hard for Savage just to be the goddamn captain? Did it have to be both of them? It's the only reason they did it. Oh yeah, We Are Pro Wrestling. No, I don't think that's it either. I think Hogan and Bundy was that main event because I remember that. And that was billed and built on TV as the main event. It was called the main event. And in the newspaper the next morning, I'll never forget it, in Detroit, the Detroit Free Press, you see this big page of Bundy being punched in the face by Hogan. And it says, Hogan clobbers Bundy in the main event. Like, that was definitely the main event. They did a really silly thing by doing that in 3 cities. Very strange. Oh, hi. We got a cat in the house. Dude, I don't think this is good. This isn't going to work. You want to say hi to everybody on the stream? You want to wave hello? There you go. Oh, look in the camera. See? He's a dancing cat. Are you really going to sit here? I don't think you can really do that, bud. My lap is not the most comfortable because I have skinny legs, bro. Here, just like that. There you go. Try that. Try that. Let me know what you think. Yeah, a lot of people are calling for Team 3D tonight to come save, or Dudley's to come save Beth Phoenix. Somebody needs to. That's right, cage match this week. Tegan and Dakota.
And right here on USA, live inside the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, Monday Night Raw with a heck of a matchup right now. Rey Mysterio and Alberto Carrillo against the United States champion Andrade and Angel Garza.
Yeah, the WrestleMania 2 stuff was still executed relatively well given the time. You got to remember, 86 was, I think it would almost be tough for them to do something like that with today's technology. They could do it now, but it'd still be a little bit difficult. But back then, it was more like, I think being able to do it and be able to broadcast to the 3 cities, they had the right things in place, but they didn't have, like, the talent almost. Like, they had the craziest people on commentary. They didn't have enough people there almost. They didn't have enough, like, personalities in the company. But they somehow did it. It just wasn't very good.
Things like that are going to happen to a young kid. Like I said, this kid is literally just going to happen. Probably, Garza, the illegal man, made contact with the legal man.
That's true. By the time 2025 rolls around, if you see a YouTube video of 2 guys working out at the Performance Center and one of them loses, they'll be like, he's buried. You should go back to... Well, where do you go back to? It's kind of like buying powdered water. What do you add to it? I wonder if Garza's fiance is jealous of all these old ladies he's making out with in the crowd.
Carrillo. You know, think about the confidence that Angel Garza's feeling. We saw Angel Garza get a victory over his cousin Humberto Carrillo at Super Showdown. Get a victory over Humberto Carrillo last week.
You're talking about the Bundy Hogan match. That was the setup for it. I think that's what got the match announced. They did like a Saturday night's main event. It was Morocco Hogan, who had some matches before, and that maybe even you could be classified as a little bit of a program between those two. And I think in one of the last matches they had on the main event, Bundy hit the ring and attacked him, did the splashes, and then Hogan had the taped up ribs and shit. I think that's the angle that officially led to the match being announced for WrestleMania, if I remember right. But I was just a little fella back then. Go back to your high school gym. Just go back to your mom's uterus and start over. Hit the reset button. Watch WWE overdo Garza's rip away pants. Becky was right for real? Are we sure about that? I don't believe this. Don't make me write down my own names in my phone now. There is no way she's right. I don't believe it. Mm. Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo owning the ring right now. Carrillo is looking to take flight. Costly mistake for Carrillo. I told you.
Who do you think killed my sister? Can we all talk this out like adults?
But your head is supposed to be spinning, huh?
You always say chocolate so weird. It's like chocolate.
You know,
chocolate.
You know we talk the same. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I
It's
can
like,
hear y'all, and then y'all say it's very.
no, that's just what I'm imitating you. Teresa's overload.
I really hate this commercial.
Chocolate.
Apparently food trucks have a thing with cheese.
I don't think Sonic is able to have a normal commercial.
Oh, wow, are you giving out samples?
Sure, I guess so.
Nice cheesy cake. So, can I get alerts when you're serving in my area?
Gotta have Lay's. I saved hundreds on my car insurance when I switched to Geico. This is how it made me feel. It was like that feeling when you go to high-five a coworker and you do a perfect high-five. Everyone is really excited for you because it was such a great high-five. And then the boss comes in and she wants one too.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Is it possible? I don't know about it, man. Sahar finally.
Okay, so that's got to be enough right there.
I think you'll be surprised. He's into it.
This is good.
2 for $6.
Can't go wrong with 6. Get the Impossible Whoppers part of the
Okay, she was not right.
your way.
That's how obsessed I am. I actually started jotting down names and I'm already way over 21. Becky was not right. You liars. Oh yeah, man. Athletes are different than when they were back in the day. Harley Race always looked like an old man. Even when he was in his like mid-40s like that in 87, he still looked 60. He looked like an old mechanic, you know, who just worked on his cars outside with his shirt off and a tattoo on his arm. Like, didn't he? He looked exactly like that. He belonged in a fucking trailer park in Mississippi.
It was holding kind of a power over me. I was always craving.
Oh, 21 of 1, the main event. Oh, okay.
When I quit vaping, I had a lot more energy. I'm someone that has.
Did she really say 1? Let's rewind that.
Consequences that are gonna come.
And thanks for the $2, by the way. And Antoine, 5 more coming in from you too. I'm so curious of one where they put the Goldberg Roman match on this card, and 2 where they put the Cena Fiend matches. It has to be 2/3 down the card, right? Well, maybe not. Like, I don't think it's necessarily like where it is in terms of like closest to the end. It's just in where it is in terms of how it's going to flow with the other matches. You know, because a couple of years ago, they gave us like Charlotte and Asuka second. And I thought for sure that would be like semi-main event. So I think the way WrestleMania is now, they have so many big matches, you have to put big ones early. Otherwise, you're going to have too many big ones back to back, and that's where you can get that burnout type of shit. You know, a lot of the reason why, you know, Triple H and Jericho struggled is because they had to follow Hogan and Rock. Hogan and Rock maybe should have been earlier and had a few more matches. That's happened a lot. It happened with Taker and Shawn, too, that year when they kind of made it hard for Orton and Triple H. Yeah, a lot of those 80s wrestlers, especially the Southern ones, man, they all did kind of look a little older. Kind of had them good old boy bodies and shit, but Arn was great. Arn was still a stud. Like, he always had, like, the old man look to him, but he used to brag about himself. He used to be like, look at the way I look, daddy, and everybody was a daddy back in the 70s and 80s. Whenever you cut a promo, you had to call your opponent daddy. I remember Mongo McMichael used to say baby doll all the time. I'm going to beat you at the pay-per-view, baby doll. I'm like, don't call me baby doll. What the fuck's wrong with you? Y'all, I don't want Becky Lynch to be right. Oh, that was an interesting counter to the 619 there. Will I super chat you? I don't know how I do it from here. You got to be doing a live stream or something. Andrade saves. The Zelina's got dressed much more sporty tonight. Normally she's wearing some crazy stuff. Here comes the trifectas. I don't know, Chris. Good question, though, and thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate it. If they did WrestleMania from 3 locations again, what 3 spots would you choose? I'd probably pick the same three as WrestleMania 2, to be honest. I'd pick the 3 biggest markets. Chicago, LA, New York. If you were going to do it like that again in the arenas. But if it became like a routine, like that's what I would do if they did it once. Now, if it became like a semi-annual thing, or they do it every so often, then you could change up the cities. Then you could do like a southern swing. You could do like Orlando, Houston, LA, or something, or Phoenix. You know, and then you could do north. You could do Seattle. You could do Minneapolis. You could do Detroit. Or you could do the middle of the country. You could do Charlotte. You could do St. Louis, and maybe Vegas or something. Something like that. That's what I do. Or you can do East Coast. Boston, Philly, Atlanta. That would be good. Yeah, you can always go. You don't have to go horizontal. You can go vertical, too. Then you could do, like, Minneapolis. What's in the middle, though? You'd probably say St. Louis again, and then maybe Dallas. Then you could do Seattle, San Fran, L.A. That would be good. That would be a good trio. 619 time for Garza. Oh shit, I forgot about LT. Completely forgot about LT. Ah. He got him. Antoine, thanks for $2 more. New Orleans, New York, and Texas would be good. I almost think, though, that New Orleans and Texas would be a little too close, unless you did something more on the west side of Texas. San Antonio over there on that side. Good looking moonsault from that kid. You know what's curious about that? You mentioned Edge and Matt Hardy and all that stuff. Does anybody know what the relationship is between Beth Phoenix and Lita? Because they both, like, done some NXT stuff, and they're both kind of in and out a little bit. It's like, surely they cross paths, right? I'm curious, like, what that's like. Here comes Beth. Miss Copeland, how you doing? How you doing, Miss Copeland? I love, love, love that Beth and Edge moved to Asheville. I just think that's so cool. I love Asheville. Love that city.
It's actually just $4. Get a double cheeseburger or any of these sandwiches in the 5 for 4. Your way better.
Yeah, look at, well, I mean, Beth never really dressed really that provocatively, but she definitely looks like she's dressed to take a bump. She's fully garbed up and nothing's gonna fall out and all that stuff, and hopefully she's got some decent shoes on and she might be able to take an RKO. She's a boss, man. She's tough. Beth's the type of chick that get up from that RKO and start beating the piss out of Randy Orton right in front of all of us. Beth can take care of herself. But you got to wonder in like, you know, from a real life perspective, knowing the danger that Randy Orton poses and the threat that he is and how vicious and evil he can be when he wants to be, would you send your wife out there to get in the ring with him? Like, how crazy is that, you know? Like, if Edge is staying home right now, if Edge is sitting on his couch in Asheville, he is a chump to do that to his wife. He better be there. He better run out there. And if he's not there, why is he not there? You can't book a plane ticket? You don't have enough money? Unless he's really selling this injury, but I just don't think he's going to be selling it for much longer because he's going to be back on TV soon. So what do you guys get? What's your vote on this? You know, because this is the main event segment. Is Edge coming back now, or is he coming back next week after the Elimination Chamber? I kind of think next week is the better week for that. But if your wife's attacked, you know, and she's there alone, that's crazy. Crazy. You got some options here, like Ryan said, like Christian, like Clyde said with the Dudleys. People can come out and make the save for her, sure. But where's Edge? Jordan Carr, good to see you, man. Awesome. Patreon supporter in the chat saying hello. Welcome. We're back to doing these live reactions for this month as we lead up into WrestleMania, and hopefully they'll continue. And since it's a commercial, there's nothing better to do. The only thing you can really do during a commercial is smash thumbs up buttons. So if you guys want to start with mine, that would be great. And hit the thumbs up for me, and then go around a few other videos and thumbs them up too until we come back. I'll wait. Austin, truer words have never been spoken. Black isn't buried. He has Zelina. That's true. Like, if Aleister Black could go out there and, like, lose in 5 seconds to No Way Jose, and then fans can laugh at him and be like, who cares? I got Zelina. The fuck do I care?
You're not seriously considering doing a deal with Brattle, are you? He's a savage.
That's what, Todd, that's what I thought was going to happen already. I mentioned that when this angle started. I'm like, what they need to do is send Randy Orton to NXT to kind of get in Beth's face at the commentary table. Like, maybe right in the middle of a random match. Just some match that means nothing. Between Santana Garrett and whoever the fuck. And then they're doing their thing, and then Randy Orton just shows up at the commentary booth, starts getting in Beth's face, and the camera cuts to him, and he's screaming at her. Doesn't have to hit her or anything, just threaten her kind of thing. Like, oh my god, and then Edge is like, my family isn't safe, this guy is stalking them, I gotta come back and silence him, or whatever. Instead, they're bringing Beth to Raw. Oh, so there's a lot of Dudley Boys talk. Are they backstage or something? All right, no DQ match on Sunday, Elimination Chamber. I wasn't all that freaking out maybe for no reason. Nobody thinks that with a no disqualification match now at Elimination Chamber between Black and AJ, maybe we can get a gong and a victory by Aleister Black. Wasn't all that freaking out kind of crazy? And here comes Beth.
Is here tonight to provide us with a medical update regarding her husband, Edge. I can't imagine how hard it's been for Beth Phoenix, still trying to maintain her responsibilities on NXT while tending to her husband. That's gotta be a tough time.
I really appreciate being given this time on Monday Night Raw.
All right, Beth, give it to us, girl.
I'm here tonight to give a medical update on my husband, Edge.
That didn't take long. Good, I didn't really want to sit through that anyway. And we got a long time. There's no match, right? Scheduled, so we got 15 minutes to do this? Orton is out there immediately, which you had to expect. Yeah, Clyde, you're smelling what I smell. Yeah, they're like, it's pretty rude of Randy Orton. Yeah, that's kind of what Randy Orton does. Oh, okay, Angie. So that's where all that's coming from. I know they're already kind of getting a ton of heat as it is because I know Bubba specifically is really defending the Goldberg victory. And that pisses a lot of people off. Doesn't piss me off. I love Bubba. It's totally fine if Bubba has an opinion I don't agree with. Like, it's totally fine. I don't give a shit at all. Doesn't even bother me. Doesn't make me think any less of the guy at all. So I know they're kind of already in the news and... Beth, you should slap his ass. I don't know. I mean, I think Randy Orton could take Beth Phoenix, but it ain't gonna be easy. I wouldn't mess with her. There you go, Beth. Now cold cock his ass. Hit him with a strong right hand. Knock out a molar. Send him to Dr. Baker. All right, Orton and Beth face to face. Hope he doesn't concertoed her. Jesus.
You know, Randy, I'm not surprised. I thought I might see you here tonight. You know, and it's actually, this is great because if anybody here needs to hear this, it's you. Here as a wife because I need my husband.
No, Bruce, I believe if Booker T defended Goldberg, he truly feels that way. He does not care. He said as much. He was on the Jericho cruise, and he said he doesn't give a fuck what they think of him. He's going to do what he wants. If he defended Goldberg, he probably truly believes that, which is okay. I just personally don't.
Now, maybe there are possibilities that we could...
Oh, Lord. I'm hoping this husband and wife team have come up with a trap to set for Randy Orton and Edge comes out from under the ring or something. It just seems so weird for Edge to not be there, to let your wife go do this. It's just not something I think a husband should do. Dudley boys or no Dudley boys.
I know what you were going to say. Possibilities, but no, there's no possibilities. It is a certainty that after what I did to Edge, that Edge will never wrestle again.
I don't think that's true, Randy. Beth is going to get buried. Totally buried.
No,
That's hilarious.
I owe you an explanation. And I'm going to give you one. And I don't know how to say it really, but let me start with a little story.
A story? We ain't got time for a story. Well, actually, we do. We have 10 minutes, but I don't want to hear one.
In the fall, October, I believe, WWE had a live event in St. Louis, which just so happens to be where I live. My father, Cowboy Bob Orton, took me down
Ace!
to the event to meet a couple WWE agents, Jack Lanza and Tony Garea, because his son, that'd be me at 19 years old, wanted to break into the business. Now, we were backstage downtown, and at this point in my life, I was a fan. I grew up in the business. This business is in my blood. I'm third generation, but at that point in my life at 19, I was just a fan. And to be backstage and to see the likes of Austin, H, Michaels, Foley,
You didn't see Michaels.
Davey Boy Smith, they were all there, but you know who the one man
Davey wasn't either. Oh, wait, maybe he was.
show his
He did come back.
Edge shook my father's hand and told him, and while he told him this, I was beaming with pride. I'm so proud to be the son of Cowboy Bob Orton.
I grew up watching Cowboy Bob.
Edge told him he was one of the best bad guys in the history of this business. Edge told my father that he's one of the reasons why he broke into the business in the first place. I was beaming with pride. And then my father introduced me.
Oh, I hope Doink comes out.
This is my boy. His name's Randy, and he's looking to break into the business. Do you know what Edge did? He looked at me with all the sincerity a man could have in his demeanor. He shook my hand. He thanked me. He said, "Good luck. Good luck, kid. Maybe, just maybe, if you play your cards right, one day you and I could work together in that ring." I'll never forget that. As a matter of fact, that motivated me, and I went from being insecure about my abilities in this ring to
Greg Gagne coming out. Greg Gagne sucked.
and years later,
He's an asshole, too.
handful of years later, Edge and I were battling all over the world in main events of pay-per-views for the Intercontinental Championship, and we were stealing the show every damn night.
I remember.
And then a few years after that, Edge and I started our Rated RKO, and you know what we did? We became tag team champion. And just when things couldn't get any better, just when we were flying high as high can be, I got a little too close.
Bubba hasn't tweeted tonight. Is that a sign? I saw the sign.
I hit a brick wall.
Life is demanding without understanding.
And I made some very poor life choices, and I dug a hole so deep, Beth, that I should have been buried in it. But you know why I wasn't? Because Edge reached down, grabbed me by the hand, and pulled me up out of that hole. He saved my life. He made me realize that there's more to life. There's love, there's children.
Orton, you're not doing a good job pleading your case here as to why you beat this guy up. Seems like a pretty solid dude to me.
Games, go to my son's play, help them with their homework. Teach them how to be men. Teach my daughters how a man should treat a woman. And I was able to do that because your husband, Edge, saved my life. What I did was I returned the favor and I saved his life.
No, please, Orton.
Rumble,
I murdered him to save him. Who says that?
the crowd,
Crazy people.
reception for Edge when his music hit. It had been 9 long years, Beth. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
Still a great moment. Edge coming out. That look on his face, I don't think I'll ever forget that.
And it was such a
He's like, holy shit, I'm here. I'm here. I'm doing it.
I realized in this very ring that Edge thought that
Dang, Nick. Thanks for the $5, dude. I'll answer that in a second. Kind of a weird question to answer or to ask right now, but maybe I could. I don't know the situation though.
I wanted your two little daughters, Lyric and Ruby, to have their father. How are your daughters, by the way? Thanks to me, Edge is going to be able to be their father, be your husband. He's going to be able to go on hikes, ride bikes, take them to volleyball practice, softball practice. He's going to be able
Instead of you changing his diaper.
because of me. And I did it because I love Edge, I love you, and I love your two little girls.
Randy, you're such a bullshitter.
But here's the sad truth. Here's the sad truth. Everybody blames me for what I did to Edge. Everybody thinks it was my fault, but you know deep down in your heart, you know with every shred of your being that it's not my fault, is it, Beth? It's your fault.
It's Beth's fault. I knew it.
An enabler. You enabled Edge. If he was a drug addict, you wouldn't supply him with drugs. If he was an alcoholic, you wouldn't mix him a drink and put one in his hand every night. Edge is a junkie. Edge is a junkie for the roar of the crowd. And you did nothing to stop it. You did nothing to help him. So I had to step in because I love him like a brother. And I had to do
This is fucking great.
he could go on and be
This promo by Orton is. What do the kids say? Is this lit? What is it? Is it lit? Or is it fire? What is it? What's the word I'm supposed to use? Whatever the word for good is, that's it. Oh man, it would be awesome if Beth could just get a tear out, wouldn't it? Come on, girl, try. You can do it. Shed that tear.
you know what, Beth?
Think about your childhood pet you put down or something, whatever it takes. Just think about it.
I love Lyric and Ruby, your two little girls, your beautiful girls.
Don't RKO the girls, please.
I love Edge more than you ever could.
So I'm guessing we're gonna get what, Orton and Beth at WrestleMania? All right, that's what you want.
Truth hurts, don't it?
Yeah, Antoine, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Orton's promo is great. He has reasons for what he did, as absurd as they are. He believes it 100%. There's that slap we were waiting for. You should have used your fist, Beth. Come on. You're a badass. You gonna RKO Beth? He's got to RKO her. We got 3 minutes left. I'm kind of hoping he does it now. She's standing her ground. You can't not RKO her, Randy. This is the guy that like punted Stephanie. You getting soft on us, Viper? You better hit her with an RKO. It's a combination of I want him to and I don't want him to at the same time. Oh, there it is. At least she struck first. Well, welcome back, Edge. I cannot believe Edge was not there. See, now, is that whole thing, that whole segment was just phenomenal. The only hole in this plot that I see is from a husband's perspective, knowing the history of Randy Orton, knowing that if your wife goes out there, she's going to get hurt, and letting her do it isn't something that I think a husband should do. But you know now he'll be back next week. Good shit.
With what we just saw here, Randy Orton was, I'm just completely over the line. Listen, Beth is right. Randy Orton is a son of a bitch. But what he just did, that was completely uncalled for. I gotta agree with it. This is extraordinarily difficult. Beth is a friend of many of ours, is a colleague as well, to see what just happened.
Well, why didn't y'all run in there? Byron used to be a wrestler. Take your headset off and your dumb little pink tie. Get your ass in there. So much for the Dudley boys, huh? Can you shut up so we can hear, my God? No, you're supposed to be watching on your own TV. You broke, pathetic fuck. Turn on your own cable TV and put it on the USA Network and watch yourself.
Continues to get worse now. Thankfully, there's medical treatment. Italians come down here, and many of the WWE superstars that are friends with.
How hard is it to own a TV? What does it cost? $5 these days? Go to McDonald's. They're always hiring. I love how everybody comes out after that. There's one Dudley. She's all right. It was just an RKO. What's Kurt Hawkins going to do? I don't understand. Oh, I guess, him and Zach are both out there, the edgeheads. So as much as this is all awesome, and I loved every fucking second of this, the only thing that just doesn't make any sense is knowing what Orton is capable of. All these guys, like, they should have been, like, standing, like, they should have came out to the ring and sat there at ringside just to make sure. It's like, okay, Orton, you can say whatever you want, just don't hurt her. That's what people would do, you know? They had to make Beth hit him first, though. That was the only way to really make it, get away with it on TV. She slapped him, and it looked like she was going for a stunner or something, where she kicked him in the gut like that, and then he RKO'd her. Great shit. Beth took it like a champ. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, Beth's still more than capable of being in the ring. We saw at the Royal Rumble. She looked great. She looks the same. I mean, this woman's had a couple of kids, and she looks literally the exact same as she did 10 years ago. She absolutely can wrestle again. That'd be a fun match. Mixed tag, Edge, Beth, Seth, Becky. What do you think? I'd be down. All right, that's a wrap on Raw. Man, it was fun to be back here live reacting again. WWE, man, everybody was buried tonight. Ricochet, Feminism, Beth, Alistair, wrestling, the WWE. Yeah, Beth does not age, which is impressive, you know, considering, you know, pumping out a couple of humans. It's probably not easy to remain that much of a workout beast the way she is and be a mom. Yeah, she's awesome. I always thought Beth kind of retired too early, but, you know, sometimes family and stuff takes priority. Yeah, Wheezy, so am I. I'm really happy I was back tonight. So that was fun. That was a fun Raw, I think. It was not great, but let's go through the pros here. The pros were the first hour. Fantastic stuff. We had Drew McIntyre laying out Brock Lesnar. Lesnar and Heyman come out. Heyman cuts his promo, calls Drew McIntyre a bitch. McIntyre comes out and confronts Brock, and Brock backs down and then tries to pull a fast one and attack Drew. He was waiting for him, nails him with a claymore, and Brock eats it and lays on the ground. And then Drew leaves, and then Brock sells the claymore and stumbles his ass back up the ramp, and Drew comes out and nails him with two more. Great shit. And I love that, because one thing I'm nervous about with Brock and Drew is Drew starting to lose his luster with the fans, because the fans will turn on everybody. And I think they need to book this angle in such a way where Drew doesn't do things to harm his case. And one of the big problems is when they're trying to get like baby faces over and shit, giving them stupid promos to say. And that's where lines like suffer and succotash and tater tots are born. And it fucks the character up. I'd much rather see somebody who's going to face Brock, instead of doing a whole bunch of cheesy talking, just take it to him, get in his face, say, I'm not scared of you, bitch. I'm the one taking you down. And the way Drew made that statement tonight against Brock, I thought was an excellent way to book that stuff. And it was also awesome to see the Street Profits win the tag team titles from Seth and Murphy. And I predicted that way back at Super Showdown. I was like, you know, they're going to go with Kevin Owens and Seth at WrestleMania. We know that. So what they should do is have Owens come out and cost them the match and lose the titles at some point, but not at Super Showdown. Maybe do that on Raw. And that's exactly literally what we saw tonight. So that was really good. Some of the stuff in between was a little weird. I didn't mind the Aleister Black AJ Styles match, because WWE announcing that match kind of felt like it booked him into a corner a little bit because neither one of those guys really needs to take a loss right now. AJ is building up to Undertaker, and, Alistair, they're just trying to build in general. So you got to be careful how you book that thing. So maybe if Undertaker comes back tonight, he can distract AJ and he can lose. But instead, they made Alistair go through the first members of OC before facing AJ and taking the loss there. So the silver lining in that situation is that at least WWE understood, because normally they don't. Normally they're so fucking clueless. It drives us all crazy. At least they understood that maybe it's not the best idea for us to beat Alistair right now, even if it's against a former multi-time world champion and a legend and icon and Hall of Famer in the business. Even a guy the caliber of AJ, WWE felt enough to not hand Aleister Black that clean loss. So for them to do it the way they did it, I think is actually a positive sign, not a negative. But at the same time, still debatable. And then, of course, the main event segment, amazing shit. Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix. Really enjoyed Randy Orton's promo. When he started out by saying, let me tell you a story, I was like, oh, fuck me. But the story was good, and you can feel it behind Randy Orton's voice. That's the heel. We always say this, as ludicrous as their logic is, they got to believe it, and Randy Orton more certainly does. And he feels like, hey, Edge saved my life and did all these things for me, and now he wants to come back in the ring, and if he does, he's going to get hurt, so I'm going to go ahead and end it right now, because you, Beth, didn't step up as a wife to stop him from doing that and to prevent him from making a comeback. And as dumb as that logic is, Orton believes it, and that's all that matters. And that's what's great. So, if I had one complaint with that segment, like I said earlier, it was like Edge allowing his wife to do that. Now, I know Beth is not your typical wife. She's not your typical soft-spoken housewife that, is very fragile and shit. She's a badass. Somebody that could beat the pure shit out of me if her and I ever got in a fight. So she can take care of herself. And Edge, I'm sure, as a husband, knows that. But as a husband, and also knowing what she's stepping in the ring with, it's not like he thought she'd go out there and cut a promo and nobody would interrupt. He knew Orton was coming out there. So if you know he's coming out there, why send your wife out there, or at least be there, or at least take precautions to cover her or to keep her protected? Like if Edge is he's still convalescing at home, so he can't make the trip. Maybe they're trying to play it off like he's still injured and he can't travel. Fine. Call up some of your buddies on the phone, like the Dudleys, like some of those other guys. Hey, make sure he doesn't kill her, please. So that's the only part that I thought didn't make any sense, is that Edge, if he couldn't be there himself, should have had some backup waiting there to back him up. Who's not going to want to help out Edge? Like we saw Hawkins and Ryder out there right away, Mysterio and R-Truth, and there's probably a bunch of guys that Edge could have called and said, hey, be at ringside when Randy Orton interrupts, just to make sure that he doesn't hurt her. Is the only real issue I take with that. Overall, it was great, very dramatic, and very good stuff by both. Beth handled herself well. Orton cut a hell of a promo. I cannot wait to see Edge and Orton at WrestleMania. That right now is my favorite angle they have going, easily. Way over, and we'll see what Cena and The Fiend do, but based on what happened to The Fiend at Showdown, I don't really give a shit. So of all the other matches they have right now, it's Orton and Edge and probably Brock and Drew leading the way. And other than that, and Charlotte and Rhea. Those are probably my top three. Everything else, Goldberg and Roman, Fiend and Cena, Becky and Shayna, don't really care about any of that, but those other ones are doing pretty well, especially the Orton and Edge stuff. Good shit, I'll tell you. Yeah, kind of similar. You're right. There's some parallels there, Marcus, between this storyline and HBK and Triple H in 2002. Kind of similar there. John Wilkes Booth buried Lincoln. He did, didn't he? Buried his ass. Why do fans cheer heels? That's why wrestling sucks now. I'm okay with the evolution of the business. I understand that it can't remain the same way forever, because I think it did get stale. The good and evil and black and white did get old around the late 80s and early 90s there, and that was obvious and proven with the decline in ratings and business and shit. Even when WCW got Hogan and Savage, it was still corny, cheesy shit. Nothing got good until the cool heels emerged. Austin, NWO specifically, in both companies. Then what classified a heel kind of was different, and heels became more... You had heels like Flair and stuff that were fun to hate and enjoyable to watch, but most of the time, they weren't that cool. Well, Austin and NWO kind of changed that. The fans started changing the way they looked at everything. And then as we went through, you saw more babyface matches, more heel matches. And now the lines are pretty blurred. Now look at what our heels are. Or I'm sorry, look at the two big baby faces in the business right now in two companies. Velveteen Dream in NXT wearing another man's wife on his trunks, and Dustin Rhodes in AEW sexually assaulting another man's wife at ringside. Both of those guys are baby faces. So those lines are incredibly blurred right now, and probably will never recover from that. And yeah, We Are Pro Wrestling, that's a really good point. That I thought about a couple of weeks ago when I was trying to envision the scenario of when Edge comes back, and we were like, well, he's probably going to have to come back against, doctor's orders and all that type of shit, which means they might have to do some sort of an unsanctioned match, and they need to, because when you have this, I think it was the problem with the Randy Orton Triple H match from a few years back at WrestleMania 25, right? That angle involved a lot of bitter feelings, Stephanie being attacked, we had a home fucking invasion, but yet the match was just a straight up one-on-one match where you can get like disqualified and shit like that, right? And the match suffered for that. And you didn't get the brutality that you expected from the build that it gave you. So if they do Orton and Edge here too, the last thing in the world I want to see these two guys in is a straight up wrestling match, one-on-one, standard rules. It's got to be unsanctioned. It's got to be street fight, no holds barred, whatever, to where they can spill on the outside of the ring, use weapons, do some crazy shit, and avoid the problems that Randy Orton and Triple H had by having a straight up match. Plus the title was involved there. So yeah, they're going to have to do something like that. If it's not an unsanctioned match, I think it'll be something like a street fight. Like, it'll have to be. It just has to be. So what happens are you buried if you lose a buried alive match? Yeah, I think you are. Judas buried Jesus. Ha, I love it. But yeah, all in all, pretty decent Raw tonight to set the table for WrestleMania. But they did more for that than really. You kind of forget that it's a go-home show to Elimination Chamber. So hopefully a lot more will happen on Friday. And I haven't even really kind of absorbed what's going on in Elimination Chamber yet. I'm not even 100% sure of all the participants and all the matches. I am happy that, and I talked about this past week or on Saturday night, I am happy that they didn't put Roman Reigns in the Elimination Chamber match and do a men's match to determine the number one contender. They should have maybe done a match for sure. Maybe give him something on TV and, winner of this challenges Goldberg for the title or whatever the fuck. That's fine. I'll meet you halfway there. But I didn't want Roman to be in a match that was going to be predictable anyway, especially when the women's match is also predictable. So now they're going to have 3 Elimination Chamber matches, 2 women's and a tag. So this fixes the predictability problem. I think the only really predictable outcome here is Shayna. And then in the tag match, anything can happen. And I honestly don't care. It should just be a fun match. And the other women's chamber, isn't there another women's chamber? For SmackDown, right? And the funny thing is we've been talking about Bayley's opponent too for WrestleMania. And I've been saying all along, it's got to be Sasha. It just has to be Sasha. Like, look at what happened last year and the story that's been told for the past 12 months. They lost to the Iconics. The story of them pitching a hissy fit, in the locker room and all that stuff. And then Sasha Banks disappearing and then coming back, reuniting with Bayley. And it all seemed kind of fishy right from the start. This will be a good time for these two to finally have that big match on this level of a stage. Man, that'll be great for them. But I'm starting to feel less and less like that's possible. I'm starting to feel like WWE's going with Lacey Evans with this babyface persona they've now created for her. And I think she was a 10 times better heel than a babyface. But, her military service and all that is going to play into her being a really big babyface. And I like Lacey and all that stuff. And I wasn't ready for her to win the title last year. And I don't still think I'm ready for her to win the title this year. But I feel like it might happen. We'll see. If the multiverse theory is true, there's a universe where the biggest draw in wrestling is Beaver Cleavage. Beaver Cleavage is main eventing. Beaver Cleavage came back this year to challenge The Fiend at Super Showdown and beat him, and now he's going to be defending the title against Roman Reigns. Winner gets to wear one of those hats with the propeller on the top. Yeah, Stone Cold. I'm feeling Lacey at this point. That's what it feels like on television that they're doing, even though I kind of thought all along it would build to Sasha and Bayley coming together. But now it's going to be Lacey, and I don't know. I like Lacey. I'm not anti-Lacey at all. She's very cool. Her daughter's just cute as shit, and everything about her is great, and I think she has potential. I've always commended how she handles herself on the mic, and I feel like has room to grow and improve and get better, but is still pretty good for somebody that they fast-tracked to the main roster pretty quickly after NXT. She looks the part. She does look like a star, has a great look to her, and I think if her in-ring stuff improves a little bit better, she's totally capable. I don't know. I just think WrestleMania might be a bit early. And like I was arguing back before The Fiend dropped the belt and we were thinking it was going to be it was going to be Roman and Fiend. I'm like, well, I wouldn't put Roman over here. I'd put him over in a different pay-per-view, have him beat The Fiend down the line because this should be Drew's moment. And you don't want the same match happening twice. You don't want two long-haired dudes with beards winning the title at the same show. So I didn't want to see that. But now Goldberg won the title and Roman's getting the match. I feel like Roman's going to win the title anyway. So the same thing can be true with the women's matches. Not all of these belts can change hands. So now it feels like there's a really good chance that both world titles are going to change hands unless WWE changes their mind about McIntyre, which is a possibility and I'm worried about. But it already feels like we're getting 3 likely title changes with Drew, Roman, and Shayna all winning belts. Is there room for someone else like Lacey to win one too? They can't all drop them. So with the 4 big titles, 2 men's, 2 women's, of those 4, what do you guys see changing hands? Like, tell me. I almost feel like it should be Drew, Roman, and Shayna, or maybe, because I just don't want to see Becky retain. I'd hate to see Lacey win and Becky retain. I'd rather see that reversed. So yeah, you guys tell me, of those 4 matches, who drops their belts of the 4 big ones? I just don't think we're going to see a WrestleMania where it's all of them. There should be too much going on, too much to keep track of. What is her finisher anyway, Lacey Evans? Oh, the women's right? I don't know. I'm all right with the women's right. Big Show used the big right hand as a babyface, didn't he? At least it's a simple move. And one you can't fuck up. But anyway, oh man, that was a fun Raw stream tonight. So let's plan this for next week. We'll do it next Monday as well, and we'll keep these going. The audience was pretty good in here tonight. You guys had a good time. Had a lot of fun. As far as what you can expect from me this week, I will be up here Saturday with the Winged Eagle, of course, and we're going to include Elimination Chamber predictions in that podcast as well. And then the next night on Sunday, this coming Sunday, March 8th, immediately following Elimination Chamber, I'll be up here for my live review. And if I can throw anything at you midweek, I will. I need to try to do that. If I can put something together and just some random video Wednesday or Thursday, I definitely will do that. Otherwise, the next time you will see me is Saturday, and we'll talk about AEW, NXT, a lot of big matches for these shows. First show after Revolution for AEW. Big matches announced, big cage match announced for NXT. And we got the go-home SmackDown for Elimination Chamber. So we should have a pretty kick-ass week of wrestling, I would assume. At least I hope. So that is it for me this evening. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your night. I'll catch you Saturday. Peace.